you!
You're scared. And you should be.
This is not your company anymore.
Leave the cheek of CM Punk.
Out! Combo move! This is what they've been doing! Hey, McAfee!
Everyone shut the up and sit down!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick!
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade JJ Williams. Hi guys. Hi guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when what's his name did his promo Monday. He said, "I'm from a prestige university." I said he majored in Steiner, man.
We've got the Heb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things for mutants.
Right. There's a lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears, because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where as fans we do have these desires of what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rapid whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan, and with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the back of wrestling. JJ Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak.
Make sure you tune in every week, because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining Chase U was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like.
They got so many intro back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just think how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with all about Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name. So he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen, first time on the Shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday.
If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James is talking about.
So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Joe.
Cool.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the weekly festivities, the Saturday Shenanigans, here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. I, of course, am your host and moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. How is everybody doing this evening? It is good to see so many of you guys here in the chat room already. I'm sure it is going to be some fun conversation here this evening. Safed is here. Charles is here. Daniel is here. Ray J's World. When Noah shows up, it gets fun. Noah will be here momentarily, I am sure. He is not currently in the green room, but let's go ahead and begin to bring in the people that are waiting in the green room. First of all, he is the reliable man in the Simply Reliable Studios. He is the man that you need to subscribe to. If you haven't already, subscribe to Rage of Wrestling. He is Walter Cruz. What is going on, Walter?
Nothing much. What's going on? Coming off a soft launch of the Simple Reliable Gaming. We played Ninja Turtles. Me and Big G had some audio issues at the beginning, but got to figure it out. But other than that, I'm ready to get into it. And here's the Geek Box.
Yes. Hey guys, quick hello as I pass by and hope y'all are doing well. We're doing good, Geek Box. We got a lot of stuff coming up here. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you tune into the channels to see our reactions to stuff. Benefit for Chris Bay tomorrow night. Raw on Monday. Maybe NXT on Tuesday. Not really sure yet. Maybe Impact on Thursday with all the people crossing the line. Lots of stuff coming up, though, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled. But, well, I did pop in for a little bit to check out your stuff, and I saw you guys having some tech issues, but I'm glad you were able to get things straightened out. Let's go ahead and bring in the man that you did that with. Big Baller G is in the house. What is up, G?
Nothing much, like Walter just said. I think we had like a 2.5-hour stream. So, but very fun. Walter worked out the kinks. So I think you'll see a lot of more Simply Reliable Gaming coming to the channel very soon. But
Awesome.
other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Had a good week of wrestling, and some good topics to discuss.
Oh, yeah. Some positive, definitely at least one negative we're going to get into, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Got to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Last person in the green room to bring in, certainly not least, the Heeb man, James Hebert, who, while Walter and G were doing their thing on video, was hosting his first space Wrestling with Tism.
Yes.
I don't know why you laugh about it. It's a great name, first of all.
Yes.
And it
we
was a
know.
good
That's why we
space.
picked it.
It was a great
good
name, but
space.
you guys went off about movies. I'm like, Wrestling with Tism is movie with Tisms. Disney with Tisms.
Listen. We always
It was
wrestle
the
with
Tism kicking in.
That's exactly the point. Listen, we always wrestle with Tism. So it's just an endless struggle, bro.
How did you guys not go straight to JJ with the Disney? I wanted him to jump in so bad. I'm like, he tried to elicit.
Trust me, that we were trying, and then everybody decided to keep fucking jumping in. I think the Tism affected everybody.
Right? The Tism was affecting people that don't have the Tism.
Exactly.
But right
What
now,
is going on, Pop? Good to see you in the chat room.
Yeah. After that, though, I'll tell you, he's a sleepy boy. He's a sleepy boy. Jay Hebert side 95. He's a sleepy boy. Fucking tired, bro. I'm so fucking tired. Oh my god. But I'm awake-ish. So hi. I'm
Ish.
here. Ish.
Awake-ish. Gotta love it.
Ditto.
Which can spell disaster for because the last 2 times I've been super tired doing one of these shows, I have been tortured. So
I was gonna say, don't set yourself up for failure now. I mean, Noah still has to get here, and you know that Noah will have to say if you start dozing off on us.
Oh, there's a new one now that because we've heard in a minute so much that now it's in a minute is the new something.
All I know is, unlike hosts of other YouTube shows, it has been very politely requested from Big Baller G that we can't say discuss because I'm sure his name will come up eventually, but we not go down the path of harassment and ridicule when it comes to a certain wrestler who shares my initials.
Yes.
Whose world we live in, if you catch my meaning. Because he's just over it. And I get it. I get when something gets beaten to death and you just get over it. It's just like when I am on a certain show and a certain super chatter who loves to super chat there but can never find his way over to our channel is always questioning me about this box behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I am so I've got my snappy comeback for the next time he does it and I'm on the air. But I'm over it much like you are with that person. So I get where you're coming from, G.
Appreciate it.
I will do my best. I will do my best. That's all I can give.
Appreciate it.
I mean, the way you could easily shut the person down is just play that fucking meme from like way back in the day. What's in the fucking box?
To be fair,
Shout out if you know
saw
what that movie reference is. Yeah. I don't
But-
even know what that movie's from, to be honest.
7.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
See, and
Yeah.
that's one I've still never seen, believe it or not. All the
That's
movies
why I
I've
just
seen,
said
I've
they never saw
seen
that
one.
movie.
Yes, before we get too deep, rest in peace, George Foreman, who passed away yesterday.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
His grill sales are about to go to the roof. Guarantee it.
Oh.
Well, I don't even think they're in stores anymore, dude. So it'll be like secondhand. It'll be on like eBay and shit.
Yeah.
Like, honey, grab that Foreman grill. We can make some bank on that bitch.
Right? I
Right.
wonder if they have it on Amazon. Let me see.
Oh my
Look
god.
at him.
Okay.
Look at him. Walter's actually
Hold
going
on.
to do this in real time. But while Walter is doing that, some people in the room know about this. Others do not. But we will have a surprise announcement later on this evening involving a special guest
Yes.
coming soon to the what will be for that week Friday Shenanigans
Look at that.
in order
They
to
got 'em.
accommodate their schedule.
All right. So Noah is not coming in tonight.
Boo.
There's a $20 George Foreman grill.
Okay. So I have news. Does everybody know the username on Twitter named Real Green Cane?
No, I just know Green Cane.
Okay, that's his name. That's his name on Twitter. It's Real Green Cane.
Well,
Okay.
on Twitter, when he comes in the spaces, it just shows Green Cane. It doesn't show real.
Oh,
Green
yeah,
Cane.
no,
So I don't know if
amazing.
it's the same guy or not.
It is the same guy, yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
he just DM'd me. Speaking of George Foreman, this hurts my soul. He says to me, "Did you guys hear that the George Foreman grill guy died?"
Wow.
What the fuck? I can't believe I just read that, dude. I can't believe it. He's a boxer. He's not just some grill guy. You put some respect on George Foreman's name.
Right?
May he rest in peace. One of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time has been reduced.
Oldest. He won the title as the oldest.
Yes, and this dude just got reduced to the fucking grill guy. How dare you?
All right.
mean,
You know what we
he
should
has
do?
Great grill, but
James,
still.
you know how the Kyson I thing got delayed? Maybe we should YouTube an old George Foreman fight. Like maybe when he fought Ali, and we can live stream it and do it on our channel if you guys want to do that. That'd be something cool to do as a tribute to him.
No, I'd love to freaking call a George Foreman fight. That'd be cool. Yeah.
What do you think of that, JJ?
What? I'm sorry, I got distracted because I was reading Noah's message, and then I just saw some of the chat comments come up. You know, Charles saying can't wait for the announcement. Daniel saying he loves surprises. We already got a super chat, so we'll get to that momentarily. But what do I think about what's? I'm sorry,
I was thinking me and James should do like a live stream watch along of one of Foreman's old fights, like as a tribute to him.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm always down for content to go across the channels, whether I'm involved or not. You know, we have such a packed schedule trying to figure out when would be interesting. When is his birthday, or when would his birthday have been? Because that might be a good time to do it.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Okay.
January 10th,
January.
1949.
So his birthday is already passed, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly.
Can I say something real quick while everybody's
Yeah,
quiet?
please do. Please do.
So I'm very proud of my wife. She just wrote her first children's book called The Fox and the Poppy. It's on Amazon. So for young kids, parents who have young kids, go check this out. The Fox and the Poppy.
Oh
God. Now I have to buy a grill because she said it. Sorry to interrupt you. I just saw her comment. I had a tism moment. And now, damn it, now I gotta buy one.
Now wrestling with Tism is sweeping the nation.
No, when you're
Everybody.
married and the wife asks you something, G knows. I order the shit right now just so I don't have to hear about it.
I mean, hey, their grills are pretty dope. I mean, George Foreman knows a good grill.
But yeah, how do you find that, G? I'll order that. It's a children's book, you said?
Just go on Amazon. Let me see if I can. I'll send you the link. Hold on. I'll put it in the.
Gee, look what she wrote already.
In the
I'll use Walter's credit card to buy your wife's book.
Here we go. Here we go. I know it's a bit of a ways away.
Uh-huh.
November 5th, 1994 was when he won the WBA and IBF heavyweight titles at 45 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that might be the day to do it, November 5th.
Yeah.
Especially if you guys can find that
you can
fight.
buy it paperback.
Go ahead.
Which one, G?
If you guys have Amazon Kindle. Oh, sorry. If you guys have Amazon Kindle, you guys can get it for free. And I think the paperback is like 15 something or something like that. So
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Not bad. All right. Well, we got super chat.
Yes, we do. Dean, a $20 super chat at that from Ray J's World. Thank you very much, sir. He says, I'm a casual fan and interesting stuff is happening thanks to WWE superstars going to indie events like GCW Bloodsport, the WWID program. I find I'm starting to watch indies. AEW should have kept AEW Dark a thing.
Yep.
Well, we all know the reason they got rid of Dark and Dark Elevation was because of Collision, but I definitely think that Dark would have benefited more than Collision has at the end of the day.
Yep.
Collision was good for about the first 6 months. Even though Punk didn't last that long, the ship was kind of on the right course for that period. And then it completely got derailed.
Yeah.
Yes, G.
Here's my thoughts. So remember how originally with Punk going to Collision, it was supposed to be its like own separate show and own roster. I think they should have stuck with that. That way, WWE has Raw, and SmackDown, NXT, and I mean we knew Rampage was just going downhill for the longest time, but I feel like with how many titles they have on in AEW as well, they could have split that up for Dynamite and Collision and have the two separate shows.
I definitely agree. That's something that I have advocated for a while is separate rosters. Have the world title and the women's champion kind of bounce on both shows. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Have the tag titles on Dynamite, the trios titles on Collision.
Yep.
Have the TNT title on Collision, the TBS title on Dynamite.
Yep.
The international, the continental, you could split. I know we're looking to merge them coming this year, but for the time being, you could have had them split, one on each show.
Yeah.
Bam, titles are all divided up. And I don't think I forgot any titles either, so.
No. And the World Heavyweight title could be, I don't know if you said the World Heavyweight title, but that
yeah,
could
I
be
said that and the women's title could be both shows.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, to his point there, it's a great time to be a fan. There's so much stuff going on, so many events where not just WWE, but the professional companies are being showcased on the independent level. We've got the benefit for Chris Bay tomorrow that we're doing a watch along for. Every major promotion is being represented. It is a true Forbidden Door pay-per-view. And it's not even a pay-per-view. All you got to do is have a Triller account and sign up for Triller Plus, which you get a 7-day free trial. So if you want to watch it, do the 7-day trial and then cancel it as soon as the show over. If you decide to keep it, it's $8 a month, and you get a bunch of random indie shows as part of that cost each month.
Yep.
Stuff like Epic Pro, stuff like House of Glory, which we did last week. That was part of that program.
That was, and that had a lot of talking points, that show.
It definitely did, both good and bad.
My free trial is over. I'm definitely keeping it. I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah. Yo, the Bloodsport is looking pretty solid.
I know, dude. Between Natalia, Karrion Kross, and Pete Dunne all being added, it's like, okay.
Exactly, yeah.
I might have to call that with Noah if you guys will let me call that.
I called Noah.
That's actually going to be James and Walter because there's 3 shows that are going to be happening concurrently.
Yes.
On that day. TNA
that's
Unbreakable is going to start at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Okay.
And then GCW Bloodsport and Prestige both start at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern that day.
Holy
so
crap.
We've already got teams kind of chopped up, but we can definitely use you somewhere if needed as a third person.
Not a problem.
We know you guys watch. Don't bullshit because we see how you book and you take a lot of our ideas. Could you just please put the match in order to where JJ can switch over and call Natalia's match, and then Noah can switch over and call Pete Dunne's match? Like, can you just do it? Like, do us a solid and just book it in the right order.
Well, no. What they need to do is for the Prestige show, book the Inspiration match, the former Iconics, at the same time that Bloodsport is happening with Natalia. That way, we can just flip flop.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, so much stuff, and then like you said, the ID program, the Evolve stuff. GCW is hosting 2 first-round matches for the ID championships on April 16th on WrestleMania weekend. I know for the women, the match is going to be Kylie Ray versus Zeta Steel. They haven't announced what the men's match is going to be, and that's just the first round.
Oh wow!
With some of the women that are in the ID program and Evolve, I thought maybe they would make that be the finals, because that's two of the biggest women names that they've got in the program, and that's going to be the first round. Yeah. That's not even like the semis. You know what I mean? Like, give me some suspense, build to that.
Something tells me if they're putting them in the first round, that must mean there's a hidden gem somewhere within that tournament. Then that might be
probably
why.
See, and Ray J's World knows what's up. He's already subscribed to Triller Plus, especially with the tournaments being, like I said, part of that show. Okay.
What's FCW or FSW?
Future Stars of Wrestling. That is the Vegas promotion that is hosting the Benefit tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And that's at what time is that tomorrow? At 8?
I believe so. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Let me see. I have the graphic loaded here.
Okay.
Yeah, so 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Okay. I'll definitely have to tune into that. I'll get the free trial.
But yeah, that was Chris Bay's home promotion for a while. And it was also Killer Cross's home promotion for a while.
That's why he's coming there tomorrow. Yeah, makes sense. Dude, I'm so loving how Triple H and Nick Khan are allowing WWE superstars.
Yeah, absolutely.
To go to different promotions, because this, honestly, like, we can thank Vince all we want for how big WWE is right now, but he would have never allowed any of this. Never in a million years.
Not without reason. I mean, he did let Christian go to TNA for Slammiversary after getting cleared for the Hall of Fame. So there was
like
that
one or
trade-off.
two, right? But like maybe, yeah, probably like one or two, but not like with this whole NXT and TNA crossover.
No, not at all.
Never
You're right
in a million
there.
years. Yeah,
and it doesn't make sense to not do it when you're not really using the talent. I mean, they let the entire fucking stable that Cross was doing go pretty much. So what is he doing now?
Yeah.
Pete Dunne hasn't really been on TV as of late.
Yeah.
Natalia has been seen backstage talking to Maxine Dupree, mostly in social media segments, like not even really on television.
Yeah.
So why not use them?
Our business
You know
is
what I
going
mean?
to die if we let other people go to other companies. Meanwhile, Triple H takes over. It's the biggest it's ever been. Well, shit.
I don't even think that this TNA thing would have been possible if he was still in charge.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right.
Yeah, Cross versus Hammerstone. That's going to be some big meaty men slapping meat right there.
Get to see the true carrying Cross tomorrow night.
People forget Cross is a legit fighter. Like,
yeah.
He said on socials that the killer is going to return tomorrow. I'm just like, ooh. You know, it's like one of those things, like to see that just little twist in the gimmick from carrying back to Killer Cross.
Right. Just for that
depending on when you sign up and get your free trial, Big G, the promotion FSW also uploaded a 2-hour Best of Bay set that has like 5 matches in it.
Okay.
And it's got matches with like Brian Cage and John Morrison, Cross, Sefa Fatu, now Solo Sikoa.
Okay.
Good stuff on there.
All right. I'll check it out.
To check out Ice Williams, who's a member of the ID program. So you get to see him versus him. Some really good stuff on there. I watched it last night, kind of getting hyped for the thing tomorrow, even though I have to work, so I won't be there for it.
Okay.
But,
Cool.
So we'll go ahead now and we'll start to get into the topics. First one, actually the first 2 topics are ones that I completely jacked from Walter. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it because he brought these things into his face on Wednesday. And I'm like, you know what? These some good fucking topics, asshole. Why are you giving this shit away on X? But So the first one we're going to talk about is more of a what if. It's speculation. But WWE is going to be in Scotland on Monday night, as everyone knows.
Yes.
And
Wait,
Jey
just a
Uso
minute.
has
What?
and Jey Uso has a mystery partner to take on A-Town Down Under. What are the odds that this could be the main roster debut of Joe Hendry? I mean, if people expect this, are we working ourselves up for nothing and it's just going to end up being like a reunion of the Usos?
That
You know what I mean? Like
or Sammy comes back.
I don't feel like that's as big though. Like why would they do that as a mystery partner? What does he got to do with A-Town Down Under? If it was KO, I could get it. But Sammy being in there against A-Town Down Under, it's like, Go ahead, Walter. This was your topic in the spaces, so I'm going to let you go first here.
I think there's a high chance that it's Henry. And I mean, you got to, because it damn sure ain't going to be Drew McIntyre. I know he's Scottish, but he ain't on SmackDown. He ain't going to be his friend. So it ain't him. But it's got to be Joe Hendry. I'm going to be let down and disappointed if it's Jimmy. The only way, 100%, I won't be disappointed that it's not Joe Hendry is if it's Phoenix, Ray Phoenix. If it's him, then I might just not as excited as I would be with Joe Hendry, but I'll be a little more happier because obviously that's Ray Phoenix getting teased on SmackDown. Like now they showed his whole figure and they could show the mask. It's like the worst kept secret. It's definitely 100% that's Phoenix getting teased. So he has possibly, I haven't seen WWE tweet it themselves, actually signed with them. So, grain of salt, other people report that, but I'm not going to report that as fact because WWE hasn't said it themselves. So those are the only two that I won't be disappointed. And if it's Jimmy, like, yay, his brother's back, but man, my heart would break because I can't imagine the pop if that's Henry. Like, I don't think the camera would stop shaking. It'll be like when the Undertaker was, Undertaker was coming back and Kane was scared in that ring shake. Like, that's going to be the camera. Like, well, if say his name pops up and it's in Scotland, like I don't think legit they need some extra time just for the entrance alone because I don't think the crowd is gonna be quiet. Not for the whole match. Like I can't imagine the kind of chants that are gonna be on there. So I can't wait till Monday though. Like wish I could press the fast forward button in the next 2 days just to see that. Like I hope it's Joe Hendry, and the only other one I would take is Ray Phoenix without being upset.
Yeah, to Safet's point, I think Ray Phoenix is going to end up on SmackDown because that's where his vignettes keep airing.
Yep.
Yeah, they're trying to keep them separate for now.
I get the whole brand split LOL, but like G said, I think it's best to keep them separate right now. Like they were the Lucha Brothers their entire run in AEW pretty much. So let them be separate and then kind of bring them together going into Mania season next year.
Yeah.
You can start teasing it at the Rumble.
Considering all they really wanted was at the very least a mid-card singles run before they teamed back together, and Tony would never allow it to happen because he just never could fit it in, even though that's bullshit.
And now look at Penta.
Yeah, exactly. and Phoenix is going to do well too. Yeah, I mean, for me, I really do feel like it's either Joe Hendry or Jimmy. I feel like they're both going to debut. I could actually see Joe Hendry debut in something different. And then after that happens, then Jimmy would come out as the mystery partner for Jay. Which is like fine, it settles story. But,
Well, I mean, Joe was in the Rumble, so he's technically already debuted with main roster talent.
Yeah.
But if I remember the interview I think it was with Ariel Helwani, he mentioned that he still lives in Scotland and he flies over here every time for the pay-per-views and the TV tapings for TNA.
Mm-hmm.
So the tapings have already happened.
True.
They're not going to do anything live again until the end of March, I think. So why not? If he's already over there, it's not like they have to fly him from the States there.
Yeah.
That's where he lives. He actually lives in Scotland still.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Either way, we know he's debuting. It's got to happen. Like, there's no way. There's no way it doesn't happen somehow. I'm not sure if it's going to be with Jay. I'm not convinced that it's going to be with Jay.
I think it makes the most sense, though. I don't see anywhere else that you really put him on that card.
Depends on what they do, though. Depends on if they, like, have a segment, like, maybe, like, I don't know, Sheamus gets bullied by somebody or something. And then, or Sheamus gets beaten down, and then Joe Hendry comes out for the save. And then for next week, it's like Sheamus and Joe Hendry versus whoever attacked them. And then you could set up a tag TNA title match at WrestleMania between Sheamus and fucking Joe Hendry, which would be like, holy shit, And especially considering the fact that it does kind of make sense, because who is a part of that viral clip with Joe Hendry? Fucking Sheamus. Sheamus was like reacting to his thing and, given all these reactions to what he was doing and like reactions to the crowd and how they received him and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I'm thinking I don't know if it's necessarily gonna be for the mystery partner angle.
And to Walter's wife's point, Jimmy is on SmackDown. The difference is we've seen the Bloodline crossover frequently here since the Raw Netflix debut.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be as shocking as debuting Ray Phoenix on Raw when everything has been done to promote him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
We did get another $5 super chat from Ray J's World. Thank you very much. Says it has to be Hendry. He's literally scheduled for the WWE World for WrestleMania week, which is true.
Yeah.
That's another big thing that kind of leads some credence to Walter's point here, is that they have the current reigning and defending TNA World Heavyweight Champion booked to be a part of the WrestleMania festivities at the World. So why wouldn't they do something that could potentially lead into, at the very least, a stand and deliver appearance, if not an actual WrestleMania appearance?
Again, could happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't just stick all my eggs in the basket of him being the partner for Jay. I think he shows up at Raw. I'm just not entirely convinced I'm not fully convinced that it's just Jay that he's
the only other thing I would want to see him do on Raw is confront Cena.
Oh, that ain't happening.
I know it's not, but he really wants to fight Cena as part of this tour. Cena has said, we'll do it if we can generate enough interest in it.
Yeah.
What better way to generate interest than to have Cena cutting a promo and Hendry interrupt him in Scotland?
Yeah, true.
And then Sheamus saves him. They leads to tag team, and then you can build that little thing up with him and Sheamus. It actually works out very well if they start it, because then you can kind of slow burn it with him and Cena.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. I shouldn't say holding my breath, but I don't have high expectations. If it happens, I'll be happy. But we all know WWE. We know how they book. So it's probably gonna be either Jimmy just to continue the Gunther feud, or even Sammy. Sammy will come back because they have he and they all both have connections with Jay. So And like Joe Hendry, I mean, yeah, he's from Scotland and he's right there. So I mean, it makes the most sense. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath. If it
That's
happens,
us.
it happens. So I just hate to see people like have this high expectation, and then when it doesn't happen,
They're bummed, and they
they're
say that the
bummed.
show sucked because
And
it
then the
wasn't
show
Joe
sucked.
Hendry.
I was like, one person does not make this show. I'm sorry to say.
But you gotta wonder what Scotland's expecting themselves, because we can be disappointed, but we'll get over it. But the arena
to be
themselves,
honest, no, Scotland would have a right to fucking pitch a big fit. To be honest, be like, what are we doing here?
Because you know what, you're gonna have those fake people on social media throwing out stuff. Oh, Joe Hendry's at the arena. Joe Hendry just arrived. Da 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 da. Yeah.
they're gonna end up having the moment of like when the Rock's music hit and it was the freaking Miz that came out. Like the air is just gonna go right out of that arena. If it's not Hendry.
That segment was fucking amazing.
Dude, could you imagine if Cena trolled everybody as Joe Hendry?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be a hell of a way to freaking get some heat. Just go full troll.
Seriously, like put on the blonde wig, put on the blue shirt and the white pants, have the music hit, and have him do the turnaround at the entrance ramp, and it's John Cena instead.
Oh,
Now-
from behind, he would have the same body too. From behind, really.
Mhm.
Now, my question is, if you're gonna have Cena, be this heel, does that mean he's finally gonna get a fucking Bosley job here and finally? fix
Apparently,
that
he's
problem?
already fixed it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking time.
I said that. I was like, he's gonna go all out. The Rock said, "You can have anything you want." He's probably gonna have a whole new beautiful head of hair now.
Mhm. Got another $2 super chat from Ray J's World. Thank you. Says Joe Hendry is doing a concert after Raw.
Okay, how true is that?
I don't know.
How true is that?
I don't know,
What
but if it is true, because of him being local, you never know if he's going to do like a little bar pop up something.
I'm telling you, he's got a job for life in the wrestling industry for a long fucking time. He's the next Jim Johnson. I've been saying it.
I was going to say, could we just hire him instead of Def Rebel to do the
Yeah,
music?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just
yeah.
at this point, he'd do like 10 times better, dude. The dude can imitate like 15 different types of sounds. I've heard him do it in ICW. I'm just saying, make it happen.
Well, we all know normally we have to have someone super chat for a question, but since it's Stat Boy and he's a member of the team, I'm going to go ahead and be nice to him. He said, was it too soon to have Jade lose to Naomi? Correction, Liv. I'm going no because of the way that it was a Shenanigans loss. Naomi had to get involved to distract her, allowing Liv to hit the Oblivion. It wasn't clean by any stretch of the imagination.
Why did Naomi have to cosplay as Owen Hart last night?
Right. Thank you.
I was the only one thinking that.
Thank you. Oh my God. If today had been rockin' ropes instead of wrestling with Tism, I was going to bring that shit up. I'm just waiting for her new music to have the whole enough is enough and it's time for a change.
Right. Wait.
It is time for her change. But to get to the question, I don't think it was too soon, because let's face it, the moment Jade and Naomi would be booked, we would think that Naomi has no chance. Now that Liv beat her, we can say, Naomi might pull it off. Like, it creates doubt, and
yeah.
It creates doubt that Jade isn't gonna have a guaranteed win at Mania or whenever they face off. I'm assuming Mania.
Literally look
Has
at
to
every
be
other.
Mania.
Literally look at her entire wrestling career. The only one that she's ever lost clean to is legitimately Chris Statlander. That's it. Everybody else has been via Shenanigans. Like, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, she's untouchable. Both companies have protected her up to this point very well.
I do. I want to give them all credit that they're keeping this up on Twitter. They are going back and forth. Even Bianca's involved. Like, I love that they're doing this.
I want to ask JJ. You could have mentioned it on Tism, like you realize that, right?
Like I told you in the private chat before I requested to be a speaker. I didn't want the quote unquote normies to hijack your show. You were having a good discourse with Ryan and Hannibal, and I was really enjoying listening to the three autistic fans kind of sharing their thoughts and having banter back and forth without getting hijacked and step on. And then when a certain person who's not going to get acknowledged by name here on this show, but when a certain person decided that they wanted to enter the chat, hijack the conversation, that's when I decided to come in and be like, okay, first of all, let me apologize for the quote unquote normies out here. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I was enjoying just hearing you three have a conversation and discourse because I felt like that's what the show needed to be about. It didn't need me and Walter and DJ and whoever else coming up into the chat and talking over y'all. The whole point was it was wrestling with Tism.
Well, next time maybe what we'll do is we'll like have the first hour and a half where we just chat.
Yeah.
And
then if you want to open it up to the listeners to come in, throw their 2 cents in, cool. But like when that dude came in and did what he did, and then freaking asked 20 questions and ended it with food talk.
I thought that was hilarious.
I'm like, really, bro?
I was having a fun time.
I'm like, really? You gonna kill the mood of the conversation for this shit?
To be fair, that's why I didn't request to be a speaker. I was just listening because I felt it should have been you guys.
See,
I appreciate it.
Not just me.
Well, just so we're aware, everybody is welcome. You can talk about whatever. And quite frankly, that fucking food question was hilarious anyway because we made that work anyway. If anything,
they did that on mine too. They hijacked it about pizza or something.
Oh yeah, no, that was his gimmick for like a week. Yeah, that was his gimmick for a week. He was talking about fucking pizza. Oh, that was kind of the fucking gimmick anyway. So I was fine with it. Yes, food talk, Charles. It was great. Anyway, but no, you could have since we were talking about SmackDown, you easily could have brought up the lip thing. Is my point anyway.
I know, but I wanted to try to get it back to y'all talking.
Well,
that was my thing.
I think we did all right for a first episode. We did.
You did.
It was good. Good banter back and forth.
I think me and Walter did pretty good on our gaming.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean the whole Owen Hart caution tape thing was hilarious.
Dude, that was fun. I love that.
You know, especially since he was the white guy in the Nation of Domination, and here's the black chick dressing up as the white guy from the Nation. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The black chick that won't join her bloodline, damn it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're all pretty much face, so and now Naomi's a heel.
Unless she joins solos.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. It looks like they might be breaking up here pretty soon. We might be getting Jacob versus Solo at Mania.
I'm so
and there's
sad.
also talk about possibly doing a female bloodline.
Yeah.
Because you've got Naomi, you've got Nia, you've got Ava, you've got the girl that's on LFG. Panina Tualepa, I think is her name.
Yeah.
She's related. And then there's the talk of the Tonga twins. You got a 6-woman bloodline.
I'm just sad that we're not gonna get Bronson involved in that whole thing with Solo and Jacob, man, because that would have been amazing to have him involved in that.
Injury.
Dude, he would have been so slated in that. Although then again, that Mania would have been very triple threat heavy, and well, we know how that went. Hi, Jeff. You went to that one.
Got another $5 from Ray J's World. Says he's autistic too. That's interesting. Autistic people love wrestling. Yep, that was a space on X today, sir. If you are an X user, find James on X, jhebertside95, follow him, and then you can't point to it right now because your name's disappeared with the thing on the screen.
Okay.
But I think they're going to do it every Saturday going forward at the same time, which was 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Yep. It was very good.
Charles is also autistic, so same thing. Follow them and join the Wrestling with Tism conversation. Now you can point at it. Your name is back.
Hi, this is where it is. First episode's pinned on my Twitter. X, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
I should see if my son wants to join. I mean, he's not he's ADD with that.
That's on the spectrum. Yeah, he counts.
Yeah, he's on that line.
Yeah, you're fine.
See, and Daniel also. See, there's 3 more autistic fans to join your Wrestling with Tism chat, bro.
You've been autistic since 1985. Sorry. Speaking of Tism, my brain went.
So yeah, go to J Hebert side 95. We'll give a solo shot so that it's nice and big there.
I'm doing the cool and dumb things on the internet. Right here. At this username.
And then, like I said, every Saturday be a new episode. So
yes. Very, very fun. Very fun conversation.
Charles,
hell of an ending, by the way.
You were about to go Kermit for a second.
Hey, ho, Kermit the Frog here. No,
he's more of animal than he is Kermit.
Yeah, I'm more animal for sure. Dude, that ending was the best ending ever, by the way.
It was pretty funny.
That was hilarious. I was like, oh, I see where we're going with this. How we're ending it. I'm like, yep, I'm taking this opportunity to get the fuck out. Oh, that was great.
Well, we're going to take a quick moment, run a quick break. We'll come back with the next topic piece that Walter presented. And this one, I'm actually going to let him lead the conversation on because it was very interesting. Hopefully everybody here has seen this week's NXT, or at least the clips that were on the socials. We will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Sorry, it's over.
I was waiting for you to do the Noah bit.
What was the Noah bit? Oh, all the wrestlings and sports entertainment enter. Okay, cool. Oh, Jesus.
So we're probably going to get copyright pinged for this, so we may have to go and erase this once it goes on the thing, but when I saw this happen, I really kind of started to believe more of what Walter was saying on the space. So I'm going to show you guys this clip real quick, and then I'm going to let Walter take over. So check this out. So Walter, I'm going to give you the hot tag and let you take it from here, my friend.
All right, thanks. So yeah, when I saw that, something clicked in me, and I said, "That's very heelish of Trick."
Was it
That
autism?
Very,
Sorry.
it was very, very heelish for him to talk like that. And then The big clue is Javon mentioned everybody who's been attacked, and it got me thinking, Trick has been out there quite a few times. Why the hell was he never attacked? Then you fast forward to the end of the show. The 4 people come out. Who's the only one that doesn't get attacked? Trick Williams. So it got me thinking, hiding in plain sight, is Trick actually part of this group and they don't want you to reveal it until at least maybe Stand and Deliver? Maybe Trick incognito or out in the open, they say hiding in plain sight, is actually the father of all this. He put all this together because he needed a change. He needed to go back to being a heel. Let's be honest, since he lost the title, he's kind of went stale. Yeah, he's got the, whoop that trick and everything, and that's over, and Booker T makes it worse. But you can see that he's slowly reverting back to this weird, like something's going on with him. And the fact that he is the only one not being attacked. So I just brought it up. Could he actually be a member of this group? What is it? Dark Side? Is that the name? Dark State?
Dark Slate.
Dark State, yeah. So it's Deion Lennox, Curtis, Cutler James, Shaquan Sugars, and Osiris Griffin or whatever. Osiris Griffin. Yeah. None of those are real good leaders on their own. They need someone who's already been established. Who better than a 2-time NXT champion, Trick Williams, here? You have him be the leader. Now you could freaking take this group serious if Trick is part of it. And then you slowly build it and reveal it. So I just wanted to get y'all's thought on that. And what I like is that I brought that up and everybody's like, yo, I didn't even think of that. And JJ and I are always on the same wavelength. We always have an idea. The fact that I was able to think of this and it didn't click to JJ, but to be fair, he didn't see the NXT live. He watched it a few days later. But now he can see what I'm talking about, especially with that clip he saw. So, yeah, I just want to open up the floor to that. Now, JJ, you can decide who goes first.
You can see Safet, Charles, and Daniel all are kind of riding that same train with you, man. They all think he's the leader, When you first mentioned it, I had watched NXT, but I didn't really give too much thought about it. I thought of it just as kind of like a backstage segment until you brought it up. And then I started thinking about it and I went right back to that promo and I'm like, you're not me. You're never going to be me. What, you think just because we have dreads, we're supposed to be boys? Like, that's some shit for Trick to be saying, this isn't us. This isn't we. This is about me getting back to the title. That sounds like a mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
And they have said for years, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. Could Trick be the devil in all this? To Walter's point, hiding in plain sight. Why has this group not attacked him? You can't say it's a black thing because they've gone after Javon. They've gone after Oba. People who Trick kind of has heat with right now. Not really Javon. He's kind of a innocent bystander, but definitely Oba has been a major target. And if Trick is trying to get the title back, weakening up the ruler of NXT is definitely a good way to get it. And DJ's been bringing up about how Trick needs to get called up. He's been down there too long. Is the program a failure if they don't call him up? And what have I said? Trick is too sloppy, especially on the comeback. He needs to slow down. He needs to be heel. He needs to work more slow, more methodical. If he's the leader, this will force him to do that because he will go heel.
Yep.
You will have to work a more slow, methodical pace. I really wanted G's thoughts on this because he's the one guy that doesn't really do the spaces, but he had to dip. But man, the more I think about this, the more I'm like, I think Walter is dead on here. And if he does end up getting revealed, And Walter has been right all along. And just like with Noah, I will totally give Walter his flowers calling it.
Yeah.
Noah was say, what if it's Cena that joins Rock? He was the first one in our team to say it.
Yep.
While everyone was talking about Cody or Punk or Seth, Noah was the first one to say, what if it's Cena?
Yep.
So if Walter's right here, same thing, man. Walter's definitely going to get his flowers out of this one.
Gonna be
At
fun.
least right. Like this is kind of what CM Punk should have been with the Shield, but then stuff happened. Like they were kind of teasing that.
Yes. All I know is some fuckery is going to be afoot.
Which your wife kind of said the same thing, kind of like what Punk was to the Shield, but they never pulled the trigger because, life happened.
No, not even because a life happened, because Vince happened.
Because Punk dropped the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
If you think about it, on that episode of Raw where Punk dropped the pipe bomb, he was still wearing the Nexus CM Punk shirt until he came out to cut that promo and was wearing the Austin shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was suspended, and then he came back on the Go Home show, and then there was Money in the Bank, which was the debut of the Best in the World shirt.
To be fair,
but that episode of Raw, he was still rocking the Punk New Nexus shirt.
I was about to say, though, how does that relate to the Shield? Or was that going to be transitioning into the Shield?
Because when this Shield debuted, everybody thought they were like Punk's group. They kept like interfering with against Ryback and him, and they would keep doing these things, but they would never actually attack Punk. So everybody's like, "Is Punk with them?"
You know what? For some reason, I thought she was talking about the Nexus. My bad. There, I totally went off on the other thing here. But yeah, to Walter's point, there was that connection, which that's what I'm waiting for Punk to say. Little side tangent with this whole feud that they've got going on. And the whole promo that we had last night, I'm waiting for Punk to be like, y'all wouldn't even have WWE careers if it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was the true architect of the Shield. I'm the one that picked you guys. Except for you, pointed Roman. You were forced down my throat just like you've been forced down the fans' throat these last 10 years.
That'd be a great promo, actually.
Right? And it's all factual because he wanted Chris Hero to be the third member, not Roman Reigns. WWE saw something in Roman Reigns and forced him into the group.
Mm-hmm.
But Punk picked Mox, Punk picked Seth, and Punk picked Chris Hero. So for Punk to say some shit like that, bro, and then Punk could drop his "stop me when I'm telling lies." But yeah, to the point there, when the Shield debuted, they were attacking everyone except Punk. And everyone thought that they were with Punk. And then Punk left the company before we could really get any kind of resolution to that.
That's true.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm liking the things happening.
My bad. I wanted to hit stop sharing. We did get another $5 super chat from Ray J's World, which thank you so much for all the support here today, Ray J's World.
Yes.
I'm wondering if this leads to Javon Evans tagging with Leon Slater. Everyone wants the two of them to meet with the partnership. I definitely want to see them either team or work a program against each other because they are more or less mirror of each other for the rival companies. Give it to me.
The only part that would suck would be trying to keep up with the goddamn match.
Right? The commentary. Be like, look. I'm not even going to try on this match. Just shut the fuck up and enjoy it. Because there have been times when I've tried to do commentary, even on just like a normal match, and it's picked up, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, I'm trying to keep up with the moves and shit.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's so crazy that, like, it still blows my mind that a guy that literally started from the independents, from basically a video game created run CAW, or not a CAW league, but a real wrestling league made by video game creators that stream wrestling gaming content, is now a part of the WWE roster and is now in a WWE video game. Like that, how fucking crazy that is, dude. That's so wild. Deadlock Pro, yeah. I want to do a watch along for them. I've heard they have really good shows. Like really, really good shows.
Dude, if we can find a show of theirs that is on one of the providers that we get, whether it's Title Match Network, Triller Plus, or YouTube, and it doesn't conflict with something we've already got scheduled on the grander scale, I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Y'all should know me by now. I'm all about adding the content.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
like I've said here a lot recently, we are now in a place, and it's not to say that we weren't when we were under the Multiverse of Media banner, so I don't want it to sound like I'm talking shit, because I'm not. But we're at such a place now with our team where we've expanded, and it's not just James and Noah or Noah and me doing commentary, but with the addition of Walter, with bringing in Statboy for some of the non-sports, the non-wrestling stuff, we have such an expansive team. You know, Ryan has done stuff with you on occasion.
Yep.
Datilla, if she's home from work in time and can participate, did TNA stuff with us. We have such a commentary roster that we can do a thing like we're going to have to do that Thursday, the 17th of April, and have 3 shows running concurrently and still have enough people to cover it all. So I'm all about it, because if I have to work, if Noah's not home from work, if Walter's got a busy night doing cab dispatch, we've got enough people where we can slot people in and still do it. I am all about it.
Yeah.
And we're in a better place than we were then because of how we've expanded the team and delegated.
Yep.
It's not just on one man's shoulders anymore. Jeff isn't the only producer anymore. You know, all of us that are part of the core team have access to Walter's StreamYard. Any one of the 4 of us can produce. You know? So it definitely works.
Yeah.
I'm down to do Deadlock, just like we've started doing MLW, just like we've started doing Mission Pro, just like we've started doing Prestige, just like we're doing Stardom and Noah and New Japan. You know, I'd love to get some CMLL and AAA stuff in there.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to do one of those for shits and giggles and have fucking Walter and Datilla on the call calling that shit in Spanish.
Yeah.
Have our own Spanish commentators doing it, and then have you and Noah on like a separate stream doing English commentary of the same fucking event.
That would
be comedy to me.
That would be fun. But yeah, no, I think Deadlock has their events on DPWOndemand.com too, but I just don't know how much that is. They actually have their
26.2
own
miles
site.
outside Parts Unknown says, Lucha Underground watch along. Damn it.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to do retro ones because I don't think that shit's ever coming back, which makes me sad.
But we're doing retro watch alongs too, because April 1st and 2nd, we're doing PWG All-Star Weekend 1, Night 1 and 2. Because it'll be the 20th anniversary of those shows.
True.
You know, the 20th anniversary of me technically meeting Jeff. Even though we wouldn't really become close for a few years, like that was the inception. That was the initial meeting, which then branched into all of this. So it's a monumental occasion. Charles, I don't think any others are joining tonight. Noah's under the weather, getting his rest so that he can do the benefit tomorrow. G already dipped. I know Statboy was in the chat, but I don't think he's knowledgeable enough about the topics to really give his thoughts.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm happy for an easy, quick night. To be honest, I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't know how quick it's going to be because we still have a few other topics, and we also still have our huge announcement that's going to be coming at the end of the broadcast.
Yes.
You guys definitely don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
We did get a $2 super chat from Emmanuel. Thank you, Emmanuel. Wants to know if Jay versus A-Town Down Under feud hurting him. I don't think so, because it keeps Jay doing something on the road to Mania, and it keeps Gunther prominent in his promise to Jay about giving him 10 weeks of punishment between the Rumble victory, declaring for Gunther, and Mania. You've got to have something for Gunther to interrupt and beat Jay down so that he looks like the ultimate underdog when he beats Gunther at Mania. And giving him A-Town Down Under isn't a bad thing. He dispatched Grayson Waller in a decent match. Theory was a squash, which I felt bad for Theory. We've got the mystery partner coming up on Monday, which, again, we discussed at the outset of the show. But if it's Joe Hendry, can't really call that anything hurting him. You know, and arguably two of the best entrances in the business right now. Jay coming through the crowds with everyone yeeting, and then Joe Hendry's entrance. You know, so again, but
be interesting. It'd be interesting. No, I don't think it's hurt him really. I will say that more of the botch he did has hurt him, because everything he does is now like under a microscope. It sucks.
By the way, sorry not to cut you off, but to people that criticize him for doing that, go fucking jump in the ring and go do that. Let's see how you would do. Like, leave him the hell alone. He's done that 99.9% of the time, has never tripped. Shit happens. It's live TV, pal.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Same thing with AJ Francis. I've only ever seen him botch that move once. I've seen him do it in TNA and clear the ropes. But that one time, flop dollar. It's like, so Jey Uso botched a spot. So fucking what? Did he paralyze himself? Did he hurt somebody? No? Okay, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Like Walter said, let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Get the run, get the hops, clear the top rope, get the full somersault. Let me see you do it. Because I don't even think I could do it, and I wrestled.
Yeah.
I ain't got those hops like that. I'm the epitome of what Wesley Snipes was talking about when he said white men can't jump. That is me right there.
I mean, I could jump. I just can't twirl. I don't have flexibility at all. I'm the least flexible.
Flip. I can do the somersault because I had to take front bumps. I had to learn how to do that. But I can't get the hops to clear the rope and do the front bump. That I can't do. Not without having like a trampoline or something to bounce off of.
Well.
Emmanuel said the only reason I ask is because he has 2 of the 5 dislikes in WWE on YouTube. One of them is because of the botch. And the other one is because people are hating on him winning the Rumble because they wanted Punk, they wanted Roman, they wanted Cena, they wanted whoever else. They wanted Joe Hendry instead of Jey Uso.
Which, I mean...
So that's the only reason why that one has a thumb down, because anybody that can sit here and honestly tell you that they went to Las Vegas and put money on Jey Uso to win, probably lying to you.
To be fair, also, I mean, in hindsight, with everything that they have done, and they already knew they were going to do this too, which makes it even worse. Main event of WrestleMania, yeah, nice try. Because there's no way. There's no way, no. No. So, and Punk, Roman, and Rollins are getting that main event spot night one. You're not going to convince me otherwise. If they open the night, I'd be fucking shocked.
I think Jey Uso Gunther will open night 2, just like the World Heavyweight title did last year.
Yeah.
Just like Seth and Drew did.
Yep.
And then you book in night 2 with the 2 world title matches. That's what I do.
Amen to that.
$2 super chat from Ray J's World. Thank you again. The Jey Uso issue is the IWC being the IWC.
Yep.
That's the most accurate statement I think I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we have spaces, so now it's not just chopped up to 140 characters of bullshit.
Yeah, seriously. That's I think Spaces has kind of been a blessing and a curse for me since it started, because on the one hand, it allows me to get the venom that I have out before Saturday so I don't carry it with me all week.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is that it allows me to get the venom out immediately so that I don't carry it all week. So therefore it affects Shenanigans because it's already kind of been talked about.
Oh, well.
Especially since the 3 of us are on Spaces a lot.
Well, to be fair, at least you're not like negative. You'd be like, "Yay, Saturday is positive show day." Well,
no. Our main event is going to be definitely quite negative, which is why the announcement is coming after it. And you should know what we're talking about if I say the main event is going to be negative. Let's just say that it didn't happen on a WWE program.
Very prickly.
Porcupine.
Okay.
So with that being said, we're going to take another commercial break real quick. I do apologize. This is not the most recent watch-along trailer, as I didn't have time to put one together because of the fact that my editing phone has kind of been on the fritz all day. From me trying to put stuff together for our surprise announcement. I'll explain more about that later, but so this one still has the stuff from like House of Glory all the way up through now into it, but just you guys watch us enough to get rid of the stuff that's already happened, and everything else is the shit we're going to be doing.
And now for a taste of things to come.
all the professional wrestling and other content too.
See, James, he remembered the shtick.
No, I'm tired.
Well, before we get into the next topic, we have a super chat from Arlene Dominguez.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you very much, Arlene. I want NXT Tiff, not this Tiff with Charlotte. What do you guys think? I don't think Charlotte was that great either.
Yep.
Okay, so you really want me to get on my soapbox when it comes to Charlotte Flair, do you?
This shit sucked.
So Charlotte Flair basically did on SmackDown what everyone's been accusing Cody of doing to Cena this past week.
Yeah.
What everyone has accused Cena of doing to his rivals in the past. Yet I don't hear people bitching about Charlotte doing it as much as I hear them bitching about Cody or Cena doing it.
Yep.
So number one, let's have a little bit of equality here. Little equal opportunity hating.
Yep.
Number two, Tiffany Stratton is doing what she can with what she's given.
Yep.
If the writers give her shit and give Charlotte gold, can we really fault Tiffany Stratton for that?
Nope.
Because she's not exactly in a place where she can fight like Charlotte can for better stuff. Where she can pull the diva card and be like, I'm not doing that. I want something better. She doesn't have that luxury. This is why I did not want Charlotte versus Tiffany. Because we are probably going to get Charlotte defeating Tiffany. And then I'm not going to be watching SmackDown anymore. I've already said it on document, and I'll say it again here right now. 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 20 seconds into this video. If Charlotte wins the title at WrestleMania, I'm not watching SmackDown again until she loses it. Period. I don't care if Cody's still the champion.
Yep.
I don't care if Cena's the champion. I don't care if half of the NXT roster that I love moves up to SmackDown. I'm not watching it until she loses the title. They could put a reformed Chase University on SmackDown. I'm not going to watch it as long as Charlotte has the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all know how much I love Chase U.
Yep.
So that is what I have to say about that. I do think Tiff needs a little bit of an edge to her, to Arlene's point. I do feel like Tiff had a little bit more edge in NXT. But in NXT, she had something to prove. I'm not saying that this is how Tiffany Stratton feels in her head, but the fact that she's been called up to the main roster kind of, in some people's minds, would make it seem like she's already proven everything she has to prove. She's gotten out of developmental. She's on the main roster. She's proven herself. But she's also a guppy swimming with sharks. It should have been Charlotte versus Rhea. It should have been Tiffany versus Bianca, Tiffany versus Io, Tiffany in a triple threat against them. I'm putting it with Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. That's really where this boils down to. She didn't want to lose the fucking Rhea and give her the fucking full clean sweep and win the series. So she decided to take a belt from a young Tiffany Stratton because she's too kind and too green to say no. That's what this comes down to. Fuck Charlotte for that. That shows that she has been the problem the entire time and is just as bad as fucking Mercedes. I rest my case.
And we all know how I feel about Mercedes, right?
Yep. She sucks, and so does. By the way, for someone who said she didn't like when Charlotte did it, man, Sure takes after her quite well. Fuck them both. Most overpaid hunks of trash in the fucking industry.
And I noticed as that trailer played that the Resurgence ad in there didn't have Mercedes in the middle because there's another one now with Mercedes in the middle. I think I'm going to leave the one there, not advertise Mercedes as part of the show because, again, we all know how I feel about Mercedes.
Yeah. I think I'm over it.
Now, I'm not going to lie. If money and transportation wasn't an issue, I would probably go down the hill to Ontario for Resurgence. But money and transportation are an issue. But I wouldn't be going down there just to see Mercedes. I'd be going down there to see Mina Shirakawa. I'd be going down there to see Takeshita. I'd be going down there to see Zack Sabre Jr. or whoever else is going to be a part of the show. Mercedes may be on the card, but that's not what's drawing me. And I love that Safed understands the assignment. We also have another super chat from Arlene. Thank you very much, Arlene. Do we think Jade will cost Bianca the title, especially with the back and forth on Twitter? I don't know yet. The back and forth on Twitter could be part of the angle in either direction. It could be part of the angle in the fact that Jade is going to cost Bianca the opportunity.
Yep.
It also could be part of the angle in that they're trying to lead Naomi into a false sense of security, thinking there's a rift between Jade and Bianca when there's not really a rift there. So either way it goes, I do think the back and forth is part of the angle, but I'm not really sure yet.
I agree the back and forth is part of the angle, but it wouldn't be in Jade's best interest to cost her the title. It would be in the best interest to let Bianca win it, and then you're the one that takes it from her. Because now you cost her everything. Like, it would be more like gotcha bitch if you did it that way.
It would be similar to the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
I helped you get the title just so I could take it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've all wanted to see that match ever since Jade debuted in the Rumble. Jade versus Bianca. Everyone thought it was going to be this year at Mania, but Jade Naomi looks like it's going to be the money match.
Ooh, you can save Jade Bianca for the women's title as main event of one of the nights of SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. There you go, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And to everybody saying that it's a lock that Seth Roman and Punk is going to be Night One's main event, which definitely could see it happening. Let me not even front there. I also could see Jade and Naomi main eventing. Because there's some story here. There's more story there than there is in Seth, Punk, and Roman. If you really want to think about it.
I can also see the EO triple threat main eventing too. If you look at Punk and Rollins on social, they're kind of both kind of saying, well, Seth's saying I've been there before, so I wouldn't mind being. And Punk saying the older I get, he said this, the older I get, the less important that main event is. And it's like, why are they kind of pushing back on it? Maybe they've already been told what the real main event is, and they don't want to go out there and disappoint people and say, oh, we're going to be it. They're probably saying it like this so that people don't expect it.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair shout. All right. Well, again, I kind of am bummed that neither Noah or G are here to discuss these other things because they're things that we've broken down in the spaces. But it is what it is, as Ryan is so fond of saying. But John Cena's promo from Raw. I did want to circle back to that and get thoughts on it. You know, a little bit more time has passed since it was uttered. We got highlights of it on SmackDown again last night. I know how we were all feeling kind of like the day after it happened, but how are we feeling here now?
Still feel the same way. I feel like we needed more of an explanation on the whole Rock and Travis Scott equivalent, but I'm sure we'll get that with time. But otherwise, good. I'm still checking on if John Cena's okay after that tremendous breakup.
Right? I went and posted that too.
I think everybody did. We all were like, we should all check this out and see this.
I did that. I also,
especially since Walter got followed by him for asking if he was okay. I think everyone was like, "Here, let's ask Cena if he's okay. Maybe he'll follow us too."
I shouted out Jade and I said, "Well, before you break up with me too, let me ask you, are you okay?" But she hasn't responded.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wow, goddamn, Ray is really going crazy with the super chats tonight. God damn.
I'm loving it. So, so you still feel the same way about the lack of explanation for the Rock part of things and the Travis Scott part of things.
Yeah. Like
Walter, what about you?
I'm different than that. I feel like let it, like you always say, let it cook like don't give it to us all at once. You got time to build Mania. This doesn't need to be rushed. Like, you can give us that. If you gave us all that this first week, now what are you gonna say week 2? You know what I'm saying? And then what are you gonna do week 3? And then what you're gonna do week 4? Like you can't reveal all your cards all at once. So the Rock explanation is coming, and maybe they're leaving it for when the Rock is available. Maybe Rock has some kind of free time in his schedule, and they'll explain it on a SmackDown or on some other show when Rock is available. Maybe that's what they're banking on.
That's
Who
a
knows?
fair point. Yeah.
And for those.
Not to interrupt you, but to add to your point, did you see what Uncle Dave fucking snooze conspiracy theory is now?
I don't pay attention to his shit.
Me neither.
I don't either, but it showed up on my fucking feed because DJ fucking has likened me onto fucking people that post this shit to basically fucking screw with him. His new conspiracy theory is, well, something's happening because he never was mentioned in the first promo, so I'm just saying, he might not be a Mania.
Oh, no.
He's still trying to hold on to this bullshit. He fucking said a year ago that is obviously bullshit.
I know I'm hurting that I've been broken up with. Like, I didn't even know I was in this relationship. So, like, can I get half his shit? I'm just saying.
That's not, hey, listen.
Look, John. I've said a few times now about transportation situations. Can I just get one of the cars?
Yeah,
right.
That's all I want. I know you've got a garage full of them because you're a car aficionado. I don't want money. I don't want property. Just kick me down one of the cars, bro. That way I can have transportation.
At the very least, a new car engine, so you can put it in JJ's busted down car. That way,
No. That car has already been sold off to pick parts after that shit happened. I have no vehicle. So I need a whole thing. I need the body. I need the transmission. I need the engine. I need the tires. I need everything.
Okay, yeah.
Just kick me down one of the cars, John. Come on.
I can't even lie. Look, Cena did. I've never wore Cena merch.
How many times have we seen Rocky buy cars and property for his people? I'm just saying, John. Like, follow him. Look it up. What do you got there?
He's got the Cena merch
after that.
That's probably why he followed you. I was about to say that's probably why he fucking followed you. Actually, I'm just saying. You get nothing. By the way, that fucking face he pulled was crazy, dude.
The fact that he addressed the music and the way he dressed was awesome. Like, he was like, I don't dress like you idiots. You dress like me, so you get nothing. Like, I like that.
I thought I was watching Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get nothing. Maybe that's where he got the promo from, was from the Willy Wonka to the chocolate factory.
But what I do like is that Cody and
They were in
Roman-
Brussels, Belgium, the chocolate capital of the world.
Ah,
That's true.
shit.
I do like that Cody came out and kind of bitched him up because now maybe the next week he beats the hell out of Cody and maybe we do get a new Cena. I said maybe we get a new Cena instead of people want him to go to the old Cena. That's what the fans want. They want the rapping. Maybe we get a brand new Cena. He said you don't get, and he does change his theme, but it's like you don't get what you wanted. You don't get the old me. You get a whole new me. This is what I want. This is the Cena I want. This is me. Like it or love it, but you can shove it, and it's like a whole different version of Cena, the corporate Cena. And that way, because I feel like if you go back to the Thugonomic Cena, you screw his whole promo up. Plus, you get the fans what they want, and they're gonna cheer it. And his
Okay.
whole point is to not get the fans what they want.
So we've talked a couple times about the most heelish thing that Cena could do would be to not retire.
Yes.
We don't get a new John Cena song. We don't get Travis Scott. We get him licensing the games Hate It or Love It with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me.
Oh, and when he eventually admits that, yeah, that was a ruse, you suckers.
Hate It or Love It, the underdog's on top.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Is that the one that Brady used for every time he won the Super Bowl?
I'm not sure. You're
think
talking
it
to the
is.
wrong guy here.
It's the one that goes, "We ain't going nowhere." That
Nope.
one, right?
That's a different one.
Oh.
That's Bad Boy for Life by P. Diddy.
Yeah, we don't want
Oh,
anything to
God.
do with the Diddy one.
No,
You talk about
Brady,
Hate It or Love It with the game. Hate It or Love It.
How does Brady fucking manage to do this to himself every time? He has the bullshit with goddamn Drone Gate. Then he has Deflate Gate. Then he has the Aaron Hernandez shit. Then he has the shit with Antonio Brown. He uses P. Diddy's song every time he wins a fucking Super Bowl. Now he can't fucking use it anymore and it makes him look bad. What the fuck, Brady? What the fuck?
Hey, you know what? I'm still gonna say when it comes to Diddy the same thing I say when it comes to Benoit.
Yeah.
Separate the music from the man.
I don't think
because the run that Bad Boy had there and the shit they put out was pretty fire for a minute.
The problem is a lot of it is when you reinterpret the lyrics. It's
But you have to be a naughty person to reinterpret the lyrics, James. If you just listen to it on the surface.
All of us have our minds in the gutter if you live on the internet for more than 2
I still listen to R.
hours.
Kelly, and ain't a goddamn thing the internet's gonna say to change my mind.
No, R. Kelly.
Yeah, see, R. Kelly is one that I did change my opinion on when I started hearing all that shit. The fact that he put out a song called and produced a song called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number for an underage girl, and then countered it with his own song saying, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind coming out at the same time. There's issues there.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that's a whole other bag of worms.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be a freak.
But, when it comes to the Cena thing, before we get into these other super chats, which again, thank you guys so much for the super chats. I'm not ignoring them, just trying to finish this topic before we get to those things.
Yes.
I made the point in the spaces. Walter kind of touched on it here. We know for a fact that we're getting Cena these 3 weeks in Europe. And after that, we don't know if we're going to get him again before Mania. So let's not shoot our full load right in the first week. The analogy was made in the spaces when it comes to an adult movie. Once you've finished watching an adult movie, do you keep watching the movie or do you turn it off? If we got everything we wanted from Cena this week, what would, provoke us to tune in next week to see what he's going to say next? What would provoke us to tune in on week 3 to see what he has to say? We got something, but we didn't get everything because now we want to tune in on Monday to see what more he's going to give us. And I still hold the belief that we already know why. And it goes back to the Rumble press conference. What's best for business is me main eventing WrestleMania, capturing number 17. That's why the alliance with The Rock. Because it's what's best for business. And Cena's always been about what is best for business. So just because he didn't come out on the microphone Monday and say it, I still think we've already been told. We just weren't paying that much attention then. We didn't realize we were being told when it happened because he hadn't turned yet. He didn't turn for another month. And so we did get 3 more super chats come in. $2 from Alexander Fortney. Cowboys from Twitter here. What's up, JJ James?
Oh, wow.
What's up, Cowboys? Thank you for the $2 donation there.
I hope you're not using your parents' money. Goddamn.
Hey, he's a high school student. That's his lunch money.
Better than getting bullied for it.
Right? Exactly. He's not getting punked while walking to school and getting his lunch money taken from him. He gave it to us instead.
That's fair.
Thank you, Cowboys. And you know it's all in good fun here. We're just messing with you.
Yeah, we know.
Arlene with the $5 says, what are the odds that Heyman turns on Reigns at WrestleMania? That's an interesting question because there's speculation now that the triple threat has been made social media official that the favor may be that Paul Heyman has to come with Punk to the ring.
Yep.
And not represent Roman Reigns.
Yep.
So the question then becomes, if that is the favor that gets cashed in, and that is what happened, does Paul Heyman screw Reigns to help Punk since he is aligned with Punk for that night? Or does Paul Heyman drop Punk during the match to allow his tribal chief the ability to pick up the victory?
Yeah. You mentioned that triple threat. By the way, I feel like that was a mistake how they did it yesterday.
I feel execution was a mistake. I don't feel the match itself is a mistake.
No,
yeah. What I feel like Punk teased the favor and then went and attacked Roman. How they should have did it was CM Punk should have looked like, start explaining what the favor is, and then he gets attacked. So we don't know what the favor is. Not him interrupting himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody should have just beat him up before he can get the favor out. Not the other way around where he just stopped himself from saying.
Yeah, that bit was botched. I'll admit that. Yeah, that's for sure. Like Seth Rollins should have attacked him before he can finish his thought out. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Roman, and then they has big beef. They has fight.
Yeah, because like otherwise, why'd you bring it up if you were gonna stop in the middle of talking anyway?
And by the way, Cowboys just messaged me over on X and said, tell James to join my next space, damn it.
Listen, I had work, but I had to work.
I'm your cool cowboy, man.
Yeah, what about Walter, man? Goddamn. But no.
Well, I think he singled you out because he mentioned you directly in the super chat. So.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Hey, what's up, brother? By the way, my name is James. Can we call me James? Why does everybody go by Jay? Because of Jay Hebert?
Because that's what it says. It says Jay Hebert side 95.
Yeah, I guess it's easier to say.
So that's why people are always calling you Jay Herbert or Jay. Because they don't realize that there's not an R and it's Hebert, not Herbert.
I don't understand.
Jay Herbert the pervert.
It's not. No.
Wow.
No.
Really, Walter?
No. You know what? We're gonna be educational today. Here, little hooked on phonics. Jay Hebert. He's Jay Hebert.
Okay, hold on. Wait, you want more? I'll space it out. I'll space the other two out for you. Hold on, wait. Here we go. Ready? Just so you don't get more confused. J. Hebert side. Here we go. All right, cool.
Damn it, James, you freaking idiot.
Hooked on phonics.
And then we got another $20 from Ray J's World.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ray J's World. I would be happy if Tiffany would bring back her High School Musical references that she used in NXT. Toodles is one of those. It was said by Ashley Tisdale's character, Sharpay, in High School Musical. Charlotte is like her dad, selfish. I definitely agree with the latter part.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize Toodles was a Sharpay thing because I've actually never seen High School Musical.
The puppy? Sharpay puppy?
No. Sharpay, Ashley Tisdale's character in High School Musical, James. Come on. I know you can read. You said hooked on phonics. Read, motherfucker.
I was doing a funny.
But I've never actually seen the High School Musical movies. I had no desire to. I was not age appropriate when they came out. I was too old to where me watching them would seem like, R. Kelly or P. Diddy watching them.
Yeah.
But I did have to work High School Musical, the stage show, when I was working for Staff Pro. Me and my daughter's mom had to do like a week of it, 2 shows a night. So I heard quite a few of the songs. I will admit that some of the songs are catchy as hell, but they basically turned 2 90-minute movies into one 90-minute stage show, combining the best of part 1 and part 2.
I never saw the movies or show or whatever.
But I didn't realize that Toodles was a Sharpay thing. I've heard Toodles for years because I'm old as dirt. I always just thought it was something she brought back that like older people around her used.
Yeah. Whoever Toodles is, I'd rather her than Charlotte.
We're at that age, yeah.
Toodles.
That's how people say goodbye.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember Toodles as the fucking little invention thing from Mickey's Mouse Clubhouse. Always carried around the mouse tools. Oh, Toodles.
Yeah. By the way, good job, Emmanuel. Good job. I saw that.
At this moment, Walter knew he fucked up.
So, Emmanuel,
I'm sorry, Charles. I'm sorry.
Yes, we are sorry. You happy with your 15 minutes of fame there, Emmanuel? Happy with this?
Hey, don't tease the Dominguez. You know better. Noah has learned his lesson. You know better as well.
I ain't teasing him. I'm annoyed. That's the difference.
This is the song La 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 Ray J's World.
Ray J's World. Yeah, true. I don't know. Fucking just imagine too. I could do the fucking full impression for you if you want. La 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 Ray J's World. There you go. Fucking do whatever you want with that, Ray J.
And I know that reference too. Toodles is a lost boy from Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time we get to the main event.
Do we have to?
We do.
But
before we get into that, we are going to run our Road to Mania trailer one more time.
Okay.
And we will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
all the wrestling and the combat sports. Here we go. Now. Oh, hi. Sorry, my hat actually, like, as I was headbanging, is just like, I'm gonna go like this. I can't see shit. Anyway, there you go. I did the thing. It was funny.
All right. So the main event.
Oh, God.
Hey, at least our main event wasn't the main event of the show.
I guess so.
But was that a good thing or a problem at the end of the day? That's part of the conversation piece.
I honestly think this is the best decision.
So, for those of you guys that watched AEW, I'm sorry. For those of you that didn't watch AEW, consider yourselves lucky.
Yeah.
But to start the second hour, we had a street fight between Jon Moxley and Cope. And during the match, Cope did a vertical suplex to Mox onto a board that had nails in it. And the nails got stuck in Moxley's back.
Yay.
As if that wasn't bad enough, trying to remove the board of nails from the back, you physically are watching the skin pull away from his body until they could finally get the nails out of him.
Yep.
Not only did they do that, somehow Mox ends up winning.
Yep.
And this wasn't even the main event. This wasn't a pay-per-view. This was free television in front of about 3,000 people. And it still did a lower rating than NXT. So at the end of the day, we can sit here, we can criticize it, and I'm sure we will. But I think the bigger question is why? Why do this on free television? Why not do this in the main event? Why not do this on pay-per-view? Why have Mox win after all of that? I think it would have made perfect sense for Mox to lose after that.
Nope, his friends helped him.
You know, you finally get the board out of his back. Cope hits the spear and wins. But why? And I don't think there's any AEW defenders in the chat. There might be. If anybody in this chat room right now can actually defend this, hit me up on X, Casa D18 Studio. I will send you the stream link to come in here right now and debate this with us. If you can actually defend this. But why? And I don't want to hear, oh, well, AEW is the alternative. Great, they're the alternative. Mox needs tetanus shots now from having rusty-ass nails in his back.
After he's already dealt with 2 full-blown fucking staph infections. Continue.
I just want to know why. What made either man or Tony Khan, because, you know, he's the boss, right? Everything starts and stops with him, right? What made any of these 3 men think that that was a good idea?
Whatever you can do to get the views, because we're desperate for them. That's why. And by the way, the worst part is they got a rating spike because they couldn't believe what the fuck they were seeing on live TV. And everybody's like, well, they obviously worked. They gave like
They got a spike,
2,000
but they
views.
still couldn't beat the developmental.
We got a spike. We must take the
Only
victories we
only
can
spike
get.
they got was in Moxley's back.
Yeah, as I said, wait until next week's ratings and then tell me how well that fucking did.
Yeah. Did they retain the viewers that spiked it?
Nada.
Or did they disappear again come the following week? Because
Nada.
it was disturbing.
Yep. It was fucked.
Because people cringed when Moxley landed on that spike and when Yuta pulled it out. Did they lose viewers because they wanted Cope to win? Even Daniel says he's questioning AEW for once. He loves AEW, but F Tony Khan.
Yep. Yeah, Tony's ruined AEW.
Even Taz almost threw up.
Yes.
And he
When
lived
Taz-
through ECW.
Yes.
Where Axel and Ian Rotten were doing Taipei death matches.
Well, to be
Where
fair,
mass transit occurred.
To be fair, he also wasn't doing fucking any of that shit. Like most
I didn't say
viewers-
he did. I just said where those things happened.
Yep.
But he worked in the company that did that stuff. And he still almost threw up.
Look, it's like as I said to JJ on the fucking spaces about this shit. It's like fucking Groundhog's Day. It comes down to the simple facts. And look, it's very much speculation, but let's just call it as we fucking see it. Moxley and Edge have so much goddamn creative control that Tony Khan does not know how to tell them no. And if they don't have creative control, then you could have fucking fooled me. And he wants to talk about how he's not making the same mistakes as WCW. Right. And I don't have autism, pal. Like, dude. This guy cannot stop stepping on his own fucking dick. It's actually amazing. It's amazing. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat. I think it was Daniel. Fuck man, Tony Khan. I think that's what he said. Yeah. Fuck Tony Khan. He has ruined this company. He is the reason this company is in the shape it's in. He is everything bad that has happened. You can point back to him, including this bullshit, including where we had to fucking see a man develop fucking herpes because of a fucking rusty nail off a fucking back suplex to the point he needs to get a fucking tetanus shot. Yeah, you can blame Tony Khan for that one too, because he's desperate and it doesn't know what else to do. So yeah, fuck Tony Khan. I agree. Tony has ruined this company. You cannot fucking tell me that this is the same company that it was 3 years ago. You cannot fucking convince me that it was. No way. Because back then, we actually had people that were able to give you everything on a silver platter and actually make it tasteful. And actually give you a proper smorgasbord of wrestling while, trying to grow their audience, even if it was small but surely over those 3 years. You know why that happened? Because people like Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk were writing the television. And if you could give me evidence that showed me that that was not the fucking case, I'd love to see it. Till then, Tony has ruined this company. The very company he started, he is now the cancer of. And we know he ain't gonna leave. So, fuck it. I give up. Fuck it. This is why I only watch the pay-per-views and tape my expectations way down to the below. Because then I'm never disappointed and I never have to get emotionally invested ever again with this company. And if you think that's harsh, tell that to your fucking boss. Tell that to your creative director, Tony Khan, that's oh so high and mighty proud to wear all these different fucking caps instead of doing what, a proper wrestling fucking business owner should be doing. And that's, the thing we've been talking about for 4 years on all of our fucking platforms, which is delegate. Yeah. 1, 2, both to fucking Tony Khan. And you know what? Fuck Shahid Khan too for letting him get away with this horse shit. I'm done. Wanted the rant, there's your rant. Fucking unbelievable, this shit, dude. It's just so shit. It's so shit. And yeah, Shane McMahon, no. And by the way, I don't agree with that because I think it would have gotten worse because he would have sold it to Vince because he's Stockholmed into this shit. So, as believe it or not, as bad as things are with AEW right now, things could actually get a lot worse. That doesn't mean it's good right now. It don't mean it's good. Just, oh my God, dude. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, don't bother. You'd honestly be better off not, because it was actually an embarrassment. Like, I can't anymore. And there's no defending it, really. Like, I get it. I get that there has been extremer shit that's happened in the industry, but they were never on national television like this. Granted, you had the McFoley spot. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but, like, you didn't see McFoley take a fucking suplex onto a bat with fucking rusty-ass goddamn nails where he had to have the skin ripped off of his body to get the fucking thing out. Fuck Tony Khan. Fuck him. If the company dies, it's on him. And no, I don't apologize for that. Do I wish it should happen? No. Does that make the statement that I just said any less true? Fuck no, it doesn't.
Tony Khan.
Cry about it.
Tony Khan needs to learn the word no. That's all what it comes down.
Tony Khan needs
what
to
they're
learn.
Gonna do.
James.
Sorry. Just go ahead, Walter.
I'm pretty sure. Well, then again, they don't have production meetings. That was a rumor, so that was never proven. But if they even ran the idea, he needs to. I don't care how much creative control. Just say no. Say no, like those 90 commercials used to tell us to do. Just say no. And the only thing I give Moxley credit for is driving 11 hours to get to the arena because of some storm. That's the one thing I give him credit for. At least he showed up for that because he could have been stuck there because they were in some place where there was snow or a storm or something, and a lot of people couldn't get to the arena. You just had a pay-per-view match less than a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. You didn't do that spot at the pay-per-view. You're going to do it in the fucking meaningless rematch on national TV? On TBS, to be fair, where like everybody gets it. TBS or TNT, whatever the hell it is. If is it, I forget now. It's TBS on TNT or Dynamite? Is it TBS or TNT?
TBS.
TBS is basic, or at least here in Connecticut, basic cable. If you get any basic, it comes with it. Like it's part of the package. Like you don't even need cable. It's part of the ones with the antennas. Like, so everybody's got access to that, and you pull that off. I don't know. That was some nasty stuff. And what was the point of it? And then not only was the match shit, the story at the end. What the hell did Dax turn on Cope for? What the fuck is the point of that? You just came up with rated R. What the
Rated
hell?
FTR.
Rated R FTR. Like, and it was a big thing. You sold all that merch and all that. I was down with it, and you just threw that down the toilet too. Like, what the hell is the point of that? The whole thing just smells of, I don't know what it is, but whoever's taking the title off of Moxley, can you just hurry up and do the shit now, please? Can we get rid of this crap?
Nope, we're waiting until Darby does it and he returns from fucking almost dying on Mount Everest. That's where it's going. Fucking wait until July. We have to suffer another fucking 3 months for this shit.
I don't think the spot would have been as bad if they didn't have to rip the shit out of his back and make it even worse. Like, ugh.
Dude,
like, you couldn't gimmick that? Like, what the hell what were you doing? Like, you can cut the tips off the nails, at least make it look more devastating. You know, there's a magic trick where people lay on a bed of nails. You could have did that shit.
Yep. Well, I mean, let's be honest, Walter. It's not that he needs to learn the word no. He needs to learn the words, I need help. That's what he really needs. He thinks his shit don't stink. That's the worst part. Tony thinks this is good.
You have Chris Jericho on your roster for all intents and purposes. You still got Sting contracted. You got Bryan Danielson. That's like 100 years of experience. You can't get a better writing team. You can't get better ideas. You can't have people say, Tony, chill the F out. Don't do that. Like, you need what I said. WWE had the Undertaker, like that locker room leader, that respect that like kept people in check with Wrestlers Court. Tony really needs that in AEW.
So yes, he does have that, but you know what his problem is? They can't tell you to stop that shit. Yeah, because every time they ever did, the Young Bucks complained. They're just as big of a fucking problem as Tony Khan is. Fuck him too. That's why I turn my back anytime I fucking see him. We had a real shot for this to be a number 2, and they squandered it.
Well, what makes it 2 times worse is you did all that, and JJ alluded to it. Moxley retained after that. You made me cringe, do all that, and then he won. You could have at least made him lose after that shit, so we can be like, "Hey, at least he didn't kick out of that. At least he lost." But nope.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
didn't even get that.
At that point, it should have been the babyface to take the spot, because if the babyface overcame those odds, people would be like, "Oh, good, at least the babyface overcame the odds." But for the heel to overcome those odds, it's like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
No sense. And this is the stuff that I always criticize when it comes to AEW. The booking is all backwards.
Oh, shit.
This should have been the pay-per-view match. This should have been a huge blow-off. Not something that was done to pop a rating, which, granted, that worked. If that's what they were going for, it worked. And I guess if that's what they were going for, we can't bitch too much because at least they were successful. If they had done it and the rating had dropped even further down, now we're talking a different story, because you did all that for nothing. You still did it for nothing for the most part, but at least you succeeded in what you were trying to do. The ratings went up instead of further down.
And
that's the only silver lining in all this.
Yeah, by the way, it was the only one. It's the segment that got 700,000 views first time in months.
Yeah, I mean, they only lost to NXT this week by 20,000 viewers instead of almost 120,000. So that's saying something.
And again, you wonder why. It's because of the fucking preposterousness of the fact that they pulled that stunt. They will not return. They will not come back. I guarantee you. You need long-term investment, not short-term.
If you gained any new viewers after that spot, I guarantee you lost them, because they would have been like, "Ew, what am I watching after that spot?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Look, we did get some super chats on the topic, so let's go
fuck
those.
Yeah.
First off, we got a $5 from Ray J's World. Thank you, Ray J's World. I'm still waiting for Cornette's reaction to the spot. And Brian's last impression of Mox's reaction to getting stuck got stuck in his back.
Okay.
I assume you're talking about Brian Alvarez.
No, Brian.
I'm not sure because I don't watch Cornette. I don't know if he has a co-host named Brian or if he's talking about Alvarez.
He's talking about Brian Last.
Okay.
Who's his co-host, yeah. Yeah.
Cornette is one of the few pods that I don't watch. Cornette for me is the way Russo and JD are for some people.
Yep.
I can only really take Cornette in small doses. I find Russo and JD to be more entertaining than Cornette. I feel like Cornette sounds a lot more bitter than they do sometimes. I know that may sound ass backwards to some of our fans, but that's just the way I find it. So if somebody here actually watches Cornette or listens to Cornette, this would be a great time to have DJ on because I know he's a Cornette supporter. But you guys can touch on that if you know more of the Cornette sphere.
Yeah, look, I have no problem with people that are fans of whatever content creator they choose. I know there are people that know how to fucking separate, being completely out of their fucking mind with the actual person that is spewing shit. Look, I said this to JD. He blocked me for it. I'll say the same thing to Cornette. They are just as bad as the fucking other. They are one and the same. I blame him. I blame fucking JD as much as I blame Dave, the Box, and Tony. Because they're the ones that put the shit too far when they didn't need to push it as far as they did. All the fucking time they do it. All the time. They don't know how to take that fucking foot off the gas pedal. They don't know how to bring their shit in. They don't know how to fucking stop yelling and screaming at fucking clouds half the time and taking it so personally that they would wish for people to die, which I love DJ, but you ain't going to convince me that that's not what the fuck he said about the Bucks and Omega. He absolutely wished death upon them. I don't even like the Bucks and I don't wish that upon them.
Who wished that upon them?
Jim Cornette.
Okay.
I have evidence. I did a whole 4-hour podcast, by the way.
I know you did. I just wanted clarification because you named a few different names and then said he wished death upon him. So I wasn't sure which one you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm mentioning Jim Cornette in this one.
Okay.
And then with JD this week, as stupid as that was, he's still not blameless in that situation. Because why the fuck did you expect? What the fuck did you expect was going to happen eventually? Oh yeah, well, Mercedes didn't like what I said. Maybe because you took shit way too fucking personal and didn't realize you took it too personal because you went and screamed at the creative and said that, oh, they should be embarrassed with the creative. Hey, there's this thing called having a nicer way to say shit, but you don't like that, so you do what you do. Does that make them fucking sensitive? Hell fucking yes. Hey, would I be pretty fucking sensitive if there were people that were as volatile as JD, going a bit too far and threatening my life and calling for my fucking head, even accidentally because they didn't like my style of wrestling? Fuck yeah, I would be. So no, they're just as fucking much to blame as fucking the Bucks and Tony. Fuck them all.
Get it?
Yeah, exactly. Get it. Whatever that means, I guess. Heard that, I'm like, God damn. No, everybody can get it. I'll fucking come on with a
Get
fucking...
it, got it, good.
Yeah. Boom, bam, bam. There you go. Next super chat.
Yes, give me 1 second here. Multitasking.
No, you're fine.
All right, well, piggybacking on that, Ray J's World said, I listen to Cornette, but I don't agree with him on a lot of things like his political views.
Hey, listen.
Hey, you know what? I look at it like this. Everybody that I watch and listen to, whether it's watching an ATW View impromptu, whether it's watching a Jay Hebert side of things,
Sure.
Whether it's participating in rockin' ropes on X Spaces and supporting my friends, or whether it's watching just Alex and Alex's world, whether it's watching the Geekbox video reactions that he puts together and uses us in, whether it's watching Tuesday night Titans and JD's Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite recaps, whether it's watching the Coach and Bro show or castrating the marks or Thursday thrashings from Vince Russo. It's all entertainment. It's no different than sitting down and watching Family Guy, The Simpsons, South Park, The Big Bang Theory. It's all entertainment. It's all supposed to be fun. A lot of it is done in a comedic manner to be funny. It's the people that take it seriously that traditionally have the issues. So you can agree with some of that stuff. You can disagree with some of that stuff. I don't agree with everything that JD says. I don't agree with everything that Russo says. But I still watch them, and I'm still entertained by their presentations a lot of the time. And maybe to a certain extent, I'm jealous of them because of the numbers that they get and the amount of donations and super chats they get, which I think this has been the biggest super chat night that we've ever had that wasn't a fucking karaoke night. So let me not spit in the face of those that are super chatting. Thank you to everybody that is doing that. But I wish we could get these type of numbers on every live stream we get. Like they do. You know what I mean? Maybe that sounds greedy, and I don't mean for it to sound greedy because I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm very humble for the reaction and responses we're getting today. But I wish we were big enough that that was what we were getting every time we went live, so that this could be sustainable as a job like it is for them, so that I didn't have to go out there and do other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, look, I'm
glad you said something because you and Walter were both kind of in the same position. I didn't know if y'all were frozen or not.
No. Sorry.
I thought it was me glitching because it tends to be my shit. Y'all were holding the same pose. I'm like, no. Did everybody hear what I just said?
I heard what you said. Listen, I also listen to them, even though I don't agree with everything I just said, and I do say fuck them for how far they take it, and I still maintain that. Bite me. But I also don't like, especially when I'm covering wrestling or any topic really, I don't like fucking associating in a goddamn echo chamber. I think that's bullshit. Like, if you are so like in your own head and you can't accept that somebody else is going to have a different opinion than you, like, that's a problem. Like, especially like, it's a lot like fucking politics. I still to this day can't understand how you have a political affiliation and that determines a fucking friendship nowadays. Fuck off. That's ridiculous. This is why I don't fuck with politics, really. Like, I just don't. But it's very much that same thing with anything I do. Like, I don't treat you like that. I treat you with how you treat me, you know? And just because DJ fucking, listens to Cornette and is a full-on fan of Cornette as opposed to a critic of Cornette like me, like, doesn't mean I'm going to fucking think any less of the dude. The dude's been nothing but kind to me since I fucking met him, you know? So.
Absolutely.
It's almost like those guys that I mentioned earlier should maybe take a note or two. Anyway.
So we had those super chats from Ray J's World. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Had another $2 one from him saying Tommy Dreamer even cringed with the spot.
Yes.
So did Stevie Richards. I watched the Stevie Richards James Romero bit.
Yeah.
And even Stevie was like pausing it. Don't tell me what I think is going to happen about to happen. And just watching the way he reacted live again,
Yeah.
somebody who was there in the real ECW and saw this shit, that was there for the mass transit incident, that was there for Taipei death matches, like flaming tables,
Yep.
you know, and they're cringing.
Yeah, dude.
It's almost like we did it so you don't have to, but here you are still doing it. What the fuck?
So, well, that's another thing too, because as a person who watches Blako 561, who, because I don't watch the death matches, but I watch his coverage of them, there is, believe it or not, legitimate safety precautions that go into running a death match, even in those fucking rinky-dink promotions like CCW, GCW. There are still going to be freak accidents that fucking happen, but more often than not, like, there's safety precautions met. Like, there's no what the fuck do you call this shit in the light tubes that is like toxic? I forget it.
I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about, the fluorescent light tubes. I know what you're talking
I think that is what it is. It's the fluorescent stuff. They get rid of the fluorescent shit and they replace it with just white powder, right? To make it look like it's fluorescent. And that way it looks like it's legit. Thumbtacks are usually shaved down and they're gimmicked, right? Flaming tables, well, they always do lighter fluid, so that way it goes right out when you go through the flaming table. And they always make sure you're loaded up with the back oil, et cetera, et cetera. They always make sure if they have a glass spot, they use sugar glass and not fucking regular shower pane glass and shit like that. You could tell there was no safety precautions with this, which makes it even more fucking egregious when you actually really break down the deathmatch stuff. This was Stu Nods levels of dumb. So,
yeah.
There's your education, I guess.
Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Ray J sent another $5, said Cope should have known better. It was like him breaking his leg in the cage match with Malachi Black.
Yep.
Yeah. But again, Cope is a guy who has always been willing to put his body on the line for the match, for the entertainment, for the fans. He was a pioneer of TLC. He did the flaming table spot with Foley at WrestleMania.
Yep.
You know?
The freaking sunset flip powerbomb with Eddie.
Yeah, he jumped from the top of the cage and ended up breaking his leg with Malachi Black, like just for the fans, you know?
Yeah.
So while he should have known better, he's always been that dumb fuck that's like, well, if the fans are going to like it, then we'll do it.
He had to retire early and then he had to fucking take like 7 years off.
Yeah.
So.
And then we got a $5 super chat from Emmanuel Dominguez. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Not trying to be funny here, but I'm scared that Mox will die in the ring at this point.
Yep.
I mean, it's not that far off.
Yeah.
You know, that's the sad part. I was just reading today on X. I know neither name sounds alike, so forgive me, but it was either Sammy Callahan or Steve Macklin. One of them posted something about a student of theirs named Graham who collapsed in a ring last night and died.
Yeah.
And it's like, who knows what happened? We won't know until there's an autopsy, but like, and
No.
I don't know who Graham is. Never heard of him before. But like I said, he was a student of one of theirs. I want to say it was Callahan that posted it, not Macklin.
Yeah. Callahan's cool like that. Yeah.
But like the fact that somebody just collapsed in the ring and died.
Yeah.
And here's Mox doing this stupid shit.
Yeah. And guys,
And
seriously,
could very easily, you know, again, to your point, staph infection. He's already fought that twice. Something could have gone wrong with this. He could have punctured a lung.
Yep.
Could have punctured, his kidney.
Kidney.
He could have gotten a nail lodged into a spine and been paralyzed.
Yeah.
There's so many things, forget the fact that he could have killed himself. But any of those three things could have happened.
Yeah.
For what?
For
a
what?
Cool spot that popped a rating?
By the way, this is coming from 3 fucking guys that did backyard wrestling.
Yeah. And again, let's see if they retain those viewers next week.
Uh-huh.
Doubtful. Possible, but doubtful.
Yeah.
Because we lost all those viewers when they went to the main event. They didn't retain them for that.
Nope.
So either the viewers saw what they wanted to see and left the show. Possible. Or they were so put off by what they saw, they didn't stick around to see what else AEW had to offer.
Yep.
Also possible. So we'll see what happens come next week.
It was, and by the way, folks, if you think we're over-exaggerating there's no way he could have died, it's wrestling. No, if you really want to, watch the shit back. Watch it back. 2 centimeters away, and he would have been fucking almost dying in that ring because of a fucking punctured kidney. Guaranteed. That's how close it was. You actually have to... I had to slow-mo it. I had to watch this match twice and slow-mo that part just to see it. I'm telling you, it's not an over-exaggeration. He was that close to something going horrifically wrong.
Why you do that to yourself, though?
Exactly. Oh, and by the way, everybody's like, well, they obviously planned the spot. They must have known what the fuck they were going to do, so they must have planned it. On what fucking planet was the part of the plan for the fucking nails to get stuck in his back? Because I don't think that was part of the goddamn plan. No, they really don't. But you know what made them stupider than shit? Thinking a suplex, which you take flat on your back properly, was the right way to do that, Bob.
Nope.
Over it. Fuck Tony Khan, as I said. Fuck him.
Walter, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think enough has been said. Like, just Tony, get your shit together. Like, honestly, like, please.
Yeah.
And
he won't. He won't. We say this every week. This is why I say it's like fucking Groundhog's Day. And I know I ain't the only one. I feel like I'm going insane. You know what the definition of fucking insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I'm done wishing for it because I know it's never happening.
I would say this, though. No offense to JJ, but shit, I got a PayPal so you want to keep all these damn donations, guys. Like, shit.
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
Hey, Walter, come on, man. I'm trying to make sure I hit payout this month, damn it.
You should by the end of today.
I was about to say, yeah, you're going to get double the money of what you're trying to do.
Well, considering that I didn't get paid out last month, that's a good thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man.
Ray J with another $5 super chat saying, remember the Jack Perry CM Punk fight had to do with real glass.
Yeah, I know. Oh, trust me, I know.
And I do appreciate the super chat, Ray J. I did bring up your non-super chatted comment about it. We just didn't elaborate on it because the CM Punk, Bucks, Jack Perry, Hangman Page thing has been done to death on our channel.
Yeah.
You seem like you're a new participant to the chats, so you may not know that, and I appreciate, but we have beaten that to death. But you're absolutely right. It had to do with real glass and how dumb it was that Perry was insistent on that and just wouldn't listen to people telling him that that was the wrong way to go.
And then also bringing that bullshit, like, into the fucking internet and on live pay-per-view as well when he could have just let it go because he got what he wanted anyway.
Don't apologize, Ray J. Don't apologize. It's
no,
all good. We appreciate everything that you're doing tonight. Number one, you're keeping the conversations going. Otherwise, this shit probably would have been done in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because most of us already gave our thoughts on this stuff. Y'all with the super chats have been what's keeping this going, so thank you. And again, you're kind of new to the chat, so you didn't know. There's no need to apologize.
Yes.
I'm not trying to pick on anybody in the chat, but it would be different if it was Safet or if it was Daniel. They're regular viewers. They are around a lot. Emmanuel, Arlene, they've been around for a while, so they know that we've talked that to death. You're still new.
Yes.
You didn't know. No need to apologize.
Yes. And by the way, if you want to pay us, pay me here. And then, Walter, you might want to link your PayPal.
I've had the PayPal scrolling across the bottom for pretty much the entire show.
Oh, yeah, true.
So it's not like they haven't had the information to do that.
That's fair. They are.
How they can subscribe to us, how they can donate to us.
That's fair. Well, there you go. Oh, yeah. It's been done. I feel like this topic's definitely been done enough, considering we talked about this how many times on the fucking spaces?
A few. And again, don't apologize for being a casual fan.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
There's nothing wrong with being a casual fan.
Yes, nothing wrong with that at all. Don't let Tony discourage you from being a casual. It's better that way, probably.
For real.
Like, dude, I'm the casual like watcher of things. Like, I'm hardcore as far as I know this shit because I'm too far gone to be a casual again. But I do the casual schedule because it's just easier on my psyche, and plus not having to watch everything on a weekly basis where I'd have zero time on my hands. That's nice.
Yes.
Nice. I could do things on my own time. It's lovely.
Well, it wasn't a super chat, but Daniel said, now I want that surprise announcement to turn this into a happy moment.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to run a commercial.
Yes.
Emmanuel's saying that he's going to send donations to you guys, probably with questions.
Sweet.
So we will run commercial. We will come back. We will do whatever questions Emmanuel has sent you guys. And then we will get to that special announcement.
Yes, yes.
Stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
You're muted.
Botch. We need Noah for the botch. All the professional wrestling and combat sports and more.
Yeah. That's what we do. We do a lot of that here.
Even gaming.
Even gaming. Which, by the way, if you guys want to check it out, there's a lot of people on the Casa side of things. You should go and subscribe to Rage of Wrestling. Subscribe
Yes.
right there.
I was going to get to that, James. Thank you. Yes, there are only 2 people out of 22 that are currently watching on Walter's Rage of Wrestling channel. So if the other 20 people go to Rage of Wrestling and subscribe, help him get up to 200 subscribers, because his wife has said that if he gets to 200 subscribers, she will send him to New Orleans next year for Mania for a month.
WrestleMania.
And he'll get to bring someone from the team with him. So if you have not yet subscribed to Rage of Wrestling, go subscribe. We appreciate that, Charles. But we've always got new people watching, so. What did Emmanuel send to you guys? Did he send you guys any questions?
We are checking right now.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, get him out of my hair. Last I checked, he's up to 115, so he only needs 85 more subscribers. That is a very obtainable goal by WrestleMania.
It's true.
With as much content as we're going to be churning out, that is a very obtainable goal by WrestleMania. Even if he doesn't hit it, it's a goal that's obtainable by SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's get him there because Walter deserves it. Yes, James, I saw your hand.
We got a super chat on my end from Emmanuel Dominguez. What can Triple H do for fans to stop complaining like Aaron and Virtue, who clearly need time away from the product? Wow. Oh, my God. Wow. Emmanuel just going.
All right. Calling out names. Okay.
Wow.
Let me just say, Emmanuel, I'm glad you didn't super chat that on my channel since me and Walter both do stuff with them all the time. So
yeah,
I am glad that you sent that directly to James since I know James has issue with one of those people.
Yep.
But
sorry.
I see it like this. Nobody is going to be perfect.
No.
Everybody in the IWC is going to find something to complain about something.
Yes. Oh, God damn it.
I'm not going there, James. Leave it alone.
God. All right.
Noah's not here.
Sorry, I have PTSD.
If Noah was here, then I would do it. But everybody is going to find something to nitpick. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can never please all of the people all the time.
Yeah.
There's no product Triple H can put on that'll keep people from bitching.
I agree with this.
It's not just an Aaron Rift thing. It's not just a Virtue thing. It's not just a JD from NY thing, a Just Alex thing, a Renegade JJ Williams thing, a Simply Reliable Studios thing. It's just facts.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to find something to bitch about.
Yeah.
Cena could have come out there, said everything James wanted to hear. Talked about The Rock, talked about Travis Scott, talked about, the 25 years that he gave to the fans and how he's breaking up with us, everything that he did and then some.
Yep.
People would have bitched about the fact that he wasn't out there in a suit and tie. People would have bitched about the fact that he didn't have new music. They would have found something to complain about.
Yeah.
He went too long, so they had to cut a match short. Jey Uso versus Austin Theory suffered because Cena went too long.
People would have been like, "Oh no, he gave everything away in the first promo," and then more complaining there. So
yeah, why are we going to be excited to see him the next 2 weeks? He already told us everything I want to hear.
Yeah, something like that. It's just
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and to go ahead and single out Aaron and Virtue, you have to remember one of those guys runs a wrestling website. One of the longest tenured wrestling websites of all time.
Yep.
Because before it was NoDQ.com, it was WWFWCW.com.
Yep.
And next to The Observer, the After magazines, and maybe Raja.com. One of the first wrestling websites that was out there that wasn't WWF.com, WCW.com. The other guy, much like me, hosts his own wrestling talk show. So even if you like a lot of what you see, you've got to find something to talk about, something to critique in order to spark conversation on a panel like this.
Yeah.
So that's to defend those two people directly, but everyone is going to find something to be critical of.
Yeah.
Just because Walter likes something doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
Just because I like something doesn't mean James is going to like it.
Sure.
Look at how perfect example. Look at how long it took to get Noah back on the NXT bandwagon.
That's a very good point.
Look at how long I was preaching about NXT before Noah finally got on the NXT bandwagon. And he still says it's not as good as his black and gold, but it's getting close. He acknowledges the fact that it's still flawed, but it's better than what it was when it was 2.0. But that's the best example I can give. Look at how long it's taken Noah to get back on the NXT bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Walter. You got your hand up.
Yeah, Manuel gave me $5 too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something on the point.
No, you guys said
Okay.
it all.
Go ahead and do your super chat then, and then we'll get to the surprise.
I assume he's talking about the build because he said, "Why is everyone trying to compare it to WrestleMania 40? It can't be worse than WrestleMania 9 in Vegas. They had that right." I think he means, why is everybody complaining the build of this year's WrestleMania and comparing it to WrestleMania 40? Can't be worse than WrestleMania 9.
I think the reason it's being compared to WrestleMania 40 is because the rumor that everything changed last year when The Rock came into the picture, and then The Rock came back into the picture this year and kind of seemingly threw everything back into an upheaval. I think that's why it's being compared. I disagree. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm overtly critical with AEW that I find myself being undercritical of WWE. Because I look at what I see on Wednesdays and Saturdays and I'm like, well, it's not that bad. So I'm not going to bitch about it. You know? And that may be where some of the tribalism comes in on my part. I try not to be tribalistic. At least not overtly tribalistic. But something like that could be considered tribalistic. But I feel like too many people are impatient. Too many people want the quick fix. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. The people aren't willing to let stuff unfold and unravel and build. You know, a lot of people had an issue with the Power Rangers movie that came out when they rebooted it, because they complained about how long it took for the Rangers to get their powers and begin fighting as the Power Rangers. It's not a fucking sitcom. It's not a 30-minute TV episode that minus commercials is 23 minutes, so they need to get that shit in there. They had 2 hours to tell the story. They had to make them come together as a team and learn how to put their differences aside to work together to gain the right to earn the power to become Rangers. That's why the Blue Ranger got the powers earlier. He figured it out. He proved himself worthy earlier than the rest of the team. But so many people were bitching about it because it took until like the last half hour or 20 minutes of the movie before they got the powers and were able to morph and become the Power Rangers. They're like, what the fuck what are we waiting for? Give it time. Let the stories unfold. Let the stories build. Let the stories unravel. Let Hunter put the destination in. And who cares if there's detours? Who cares if there's roadblocks? Who cares if I have to make a U-turn and go a different way? As long as we get to the destination. It's all that matters.
True that. True that.
Anybody else? Because that was technically sent to Walter.
I just think people need to stop comparing so much. It's a different year. And I just think that we had such a great WrestleMania last year that it's just people want to see them again and they feel like they've been let down a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like the problem is they were always going to have trouble living up to that hype because like that Mania was arguably probably the best, and I don't even think this is recency bias. It's probably the best booked top to bottom WrestleMania since like Mania 19. If we're really being honest about it, like there was, and it's very similar in a lot of ways. You only had one dud on the entire card of the 2 nights. And back then, WrestleMania was 1 night, so I'd argue that this Mania was better than 19. And I love 19. So
it's definitely the best one of the 2-night era.
Yeah.
I always held WrestleMania 20 to a high standard.
Me too.
I always considered WrestleMania 20 the last of the great WrestleManias. It's not to say that 19 or 17 or 14 wasn't better, but I always considered it the last great WrestleMania because I felt top to bottom, even with the Goldberg-Brock fiasco, it was a great card.
Mm-hmm.
Everything after that has been subpar. There have been moments, there have been matches, but there hasn't been a top to bottom solid card. 39 and 40, I feel like give 20 a run for its money. People only bitch about 39 because Cody didn't win. I haven't heard anybody else say a bad word about 39 except for the fact that Cody didn't win. And 40 people think is better because Cody won.
I'm just biased because I went to 40. So,
and Jeff was at 39. But I mean, Sami KO versus the Usos, Rhea versus Charlotte. You know, great matches right there. Bianca Becky. Just throwing it out there.
Yep.
Undefeated Bianca.
Yes. Yes, the Dominguez is we're at 39 also. So, thank you to the super chats to Walter and James. And now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. It is time for our announcement.
It's time.
Come Friday, April 4th, we will be welcoming a very special guest to the program.
Get it, got it, bueno.
It's La Princesa, roundhouse kick upside your cabeza. Reeking blood, she'll take on all rivals. Look out, she coming for all titles. Royal Highness, long may she reign. Gonna make you tap when you feel the pain. Ain't no Disney princess, she'll own ya. Tiffany, Nieves, La Campiola.
For a very special Friday episode, we will be welcoming La Princesa Tiffany Nieves, NWA talent, to the program.
Yes, yes. It's a big one. That's a big one.
Muy grande. Muy grande.
Indeed. Indeed.
Very stoked about that one.
Very fun. Hoo-wee.
I'm sure James and I are probably going to dominate the conversation, especially since we called La Princesa versus Natalia Markova the cage match here not that long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, I re-edited that so that the match actually shows muted while we do commentary, and I sent it to her.
Nice. Nice. I appreciate it.
Because she wanted to see some of our work, so I sent her me and Noah doing her versus Izzy from Mission Pro.
Yep.
I sent her me and you doing the cage match, and I sent her me, Walter, or no, it was me and Noah doing the VIP wrestling.
Yeah.
Or was Walter on that one too? I don't remember. I think Walter was on that one.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So me, Walter, and Noah doing the VIP wrestling round 3 against Izzy.
Yes. I will say she might not.
Of course, Danielle wants to know what she's going to say about her matches with Izzy, because we know how much Danielle loves him some Izzy.
So the problem is she might not like me because I rooted for Natalia Markova like blatantly. That's the problem.
Everybody on the show has rooted against her except for me.
There you go.
Noah was cheering for Izzy.
There you go.
I was cheering for Natalia. You were I was cheering for Tiffany. You were cheering for Natalia. Walter was kind of Switzerland.
I think I called her Mamacita though. Oh shit, that's gotta be embarrassing.
Who don't you call Mamacita?
That's
Right.
true. That's true. You kind of do that with a lot of people.
That's become your gimmick. As long as you don't call Izzy Mamacita, that girl's only 17 years old. We don't need to call you R. Kelly.
Yeah, no thanks.
But yeah, it's going to be big for us. We've had a special guest on the show before. We had Gino Rivera, Gino Told You So, who, if you were watching TNA Impact, was in the ring during the Knockouts tag team debacle that transpired this past week and got chucked by Jakara Jackson. So shout out to our boy Gino on that one. But, and this is no disrespect to Gino, but having him on the show was more like talking to the homie, because him, Jeff, and I go back so far. You know, it was more like bullshitting and catching up with the homie as opposed to interviewing a professional wrestler. This is different. This is big because none of us really have a connection to Tiffany other than fandom.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, none of us know her on a personal level like Jeff and I know Gino. So this is going to be big for us. And for her to be the current reigning and defending Future of Women's Wrestling champion here in SoCal and NWA Exodus Midwest Women's champion, the NWA territory ran by EC3. So she was a double champion, former OVW champion, former Mission Pro Wrestling champion, former Destiny World Wrestling champion, former Shine Tag Team champion, former OVW Women's champion. Her accolades go on and on.
Yeah.
Appeared on TNA Impact.
Yeah.
Appeared on AEW Dark, which I used the TNA Plus last night to look up her matches. I hope she doesn't see this part. I would barely call them matches because I think over both appearances, the TV time was about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's obviously not on her. That was on.
No, of course not. But she won one match.
Yeah.
But it's more known for the fact that Killer Kelly made her debut afterwards. And then she got squashed by Killer Kelly in the subsequent second match. So
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Alicia's comment.
Oh, Jesus.
It's daughter Sita. Izzy, daughter Sita.
Daughter Sita. I don't think that
Mama Sita.
Well,
Daughter
I mean,
Sita.
that is actually pretty good. But let's don't tell R. Kelly that. That's all I'm saying.
So, time is still Tibid.
Yes.
I believe it is still going to be normal time on Friday, so it would be 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific.
Perfect.
That way we don't compete with SmackDown. Anybody that wants to watch SmackDown can watch it, and we're not trying to pull viewers from SmackDown to watch us. But yeah, that is our special announcement. It is huge, and hopefully she'll have a good time. She'll enjoy herself, and she'll tell other people about us. Because being a woman who works the indie circuit, she's got the ear of a bunch of other talent out there. We might be able to get Natalia Markova. We might be able to get Izzy Moreno. We might be able to get EC3 or Maya World or Jasmine Allure. Some of these other women that she comes across on a regular basis. Hollywood Haley J.
Yeah, true.
You know,
Who
knows? Kenzie or Kylie Page.
But the problem is, will she be in character or not?
That is something I have yet to find out.
Guess we'll find out.
I've been corresponding with her pretty regularly. I haven't heard from her in about a day and a half, just because she did tell me that weekends get crazy for her because of bookings. Obviously, she's an independent wrestler, weekend warrior.
Right.
But
weekend lawyer on top of that?
Weekend warrior.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
That's what they usually call independent wrestlers, or weekend warriors, because Monday through Friday, they traditionally have their day job, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they do the wrestling gimmick, the weekend warriors.
That's fair.
So hopefully I'll hear from her soon. Like I said, I've sent her the 3 matches. I have one more that I need to edit together and send her. The one from Ladies Night out 14.
Ah, there you go.
I didn't send the first her and Natalia Markova match because that was only like 5 minutes and it was a double DQ, whatever it was, double count out.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to waste my time for that one, but I did do the cage match. But I'm hoping to hear her thoughts on that and our calls of it, our reactions to it. And I'm waiting to find out if she's going to be in character, out of character, kind of half and half, because there are some things that I want to talk to her about without her being in character. Anybody that is familiar with her story will know some of the stuff I'm talking about. I don't want to give it all away. I want to give you guys reasons to tune in, but anybody that knows her story should be able to pick up on what I'm talking about. So there's stuff that I would like to talk to her about that kind of would have to be out of character for. So hopefully we'll at least get a half and half with her. But yeah. Tiffany Nieves coming to the Simply Reliable Studios and a special Friday Shenanigans. We'll probably still do Saturday Shenanigans as well that week, just because Friday will just be the interview. But yeah.
Good.
Been working hard to get that.
It was a very, very good lockdown. Woo.
So with that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll get to the shills now.
Sorry.
Make sure you follow Jeff on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky _ Jeff Meacham, YouTube and Facebook at Jeff Meacham. James.
Oh my God. Of course. You guys can find me on the YouTube, Instagram, and X at JHeber95, and on Facebook at Gentleman Heber. I do really cool and dumb things on the internet. Yeah, go check out my recent spaces on the Tweeter. It was a very fun time. Wrestling with Tism, installment number 1, with myself, Ryan Schmid, who's become a regular here around these parts on Simply Reliable Studios, and fellow UK space invader, Hannibal Scourge. So go check that out. It was a very fun yet chaotic space. Better not let's see that one, Jay. Listen, brother, I'm already fucked. A lot of that call was me rooting for Natalia Markova. I'm screwed. It's over.
Follow Noah on YouTube, X, and Instagram at nfoster16. Facebook, Noah Foster. Primarily active on the X and the YouTube. You can always go to the community tab on YouTube for his Prediction League updates. Walter.
Find me, Walter Alex Cruz on Twitter. Usually Wednesdays seems to be my day to do the spaces at 3. James, 3 p.m. Eastern. James. In other words, wake the hell up, James. 3 p.m. Twitter.
I thought it was 4. I'm sorry.
Walter.Cruz.940 Instagram, and of course the at Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel. If I can ever get Jada Parker or Lola, I might not even make it to the interview because I'll probably die on here. But but yeah, that's how you can check me out, and then subscribe, of course. Get to the 200, I get to go to WrestleMania along with someone here. So we'll see who that is. I know you guys will make it happen. I'm confident. And she keeps bothering me because she wants me out of her hair. So gotta do it.
Yep.
And you also have the Blue Sky and the Twitch, the new Twitch.
Oh yeah, SRS 1983 on Twitch. We might do it before the Bay tomorrow if Noah feels better. He says he wants to do it.
That's fair.
My wife
Jay's World says, I hope Walter's wife doesn't see that. She's in the chat, bro.
Well, you see, the reason why I brought it up, and I know I don't usually be producer man, but the reason I brought that up is, well,
yeah, that was mine for a while, and she smacked me in the back of the head one time, a few times over that. But
yeah,
it's all.
And then she also said, "I'm surprised you didn't use Jada Parker," so I had to go be a smartass and do that one.
Yeah.
So let her smack him in the back of the head for that one. She's the one that caused it.
That's true.
And then you can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on X, ROWJJ Williams, and Casa D18 Studio, on YouTube at Casa D18 Studios. I do spaces over there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, James. 3 p.m. You don't start turning in on time, I will freaking bring the gimmick up.
I guess Stevie.
We touched on it a little bit earlier, but we will be doing the Benefit for Chris Bay tomorrow. Walter, Noah, and I believe James will all be part of that. I wish I could, but I will be at work. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start time to go over the matches. Event actually begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then we will be doing Raw from Scotland at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Event actually begins at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific, respectively. And then, yeah, come April 4th, make sure you are here for a special Friday shenanigans as we welcome Tiffany Nieves to the program.
And there we go. No, yeah.
Here's the problem, Daniel. He sets an alarm. He just sleeps through it.
Dude, I can sleep through a fucking hurricane. I'm convinced, dude. It's awful. It's so bad. I had to have my dad wake. All right. Here's the funniest bit. I had to have my dad wake me up for my fucking show because I didn't trust myself. That's how bad it is, man. Like, it's bad. So there you go.
And we appreciate the fact that you'll be watching tomorrow, Ray J's World.
Thank you, Ray J.
I mean, again, this could very well be the biggest event of the year that isn't called WrestleMania or All In.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a true forbidden door. WWE talent, AEW talent, TNA talent, NWA talent, New Japan talent, talent from the Indies, all going to be part of this show tomorrow.
Well, for a great cause too, for a great man.
Yeah. I don't think there's been a show like this since the Ric Flair retirement show.
No.
Oh God, that was a disaster.
Thank you.
It was what it was. It was what it was. But as far as talent from all promotions, there hasn't been a show like this since that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I draw the comparison.
Well, we know that will be at least 10 times better because then they don't have to dumb it down so that way Flair can have the best match.
I just can't wait to see what Cross does up there because he has history with Bay.
That's true.
A lot of these people on the card have history with Bay.
Yep. It's gonna be
and
huge.
I have heard that Chris will be there. What he does, don't know. What kind of form we see him in, don't know. But if you watched the Chris Van Vliet interview, he walked into the room to sit down for that interview. So he is mobile. He said himself jokingly, it wasn't pretty, but he was able to walk himself into that room. So
he did a whole video discussing his injury. I can't watch it. Ugh. Like he actually showed it himself. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
They didn't show it on the Van Vliet thing, but he goes very in depth about it and talks about his recovery. If you haven't watched it yet, I very much recommend watching it prior to tomorrow's show. And if you guys have Triller Plus, I recommend watching the best of Chris Bay that FSW put up there as well. About 2 hours long, 5 matches total. Good shit all around. Including matches with Killer Cross, including matches with John Morrison, Brian Cage, Sefa Fatu, now known as Solo Sikoa.
Yep.
Ice Williams, who's a WWE ID prospect. And there was one more. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, Amazing Red.
Yep. Current booker for House of Glory.
Yep. So all those people amongst those 5 matches, definitely worth watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, John, insert last name here. He's Johnny Mecca because they were going for the Mecca Championship, but it's still Johnny Nitro, John Morrison. But definitely worth your time watching it because then you can see the history that some of the guys that are going to be on the show tomorrow have with him because Ice Williams is going to be part of the show. Brian Cage is going to be part of the show. Killer Cross is going to be part of the show. And all of them are featured in those matches. So that is going to wrap it up for this evening's episode of the Saturday Shenanigans. Want to thank Big G for joining us for a little bit in the beginning. Want to thank everybody again that has been here for the ride. There are still 18 of you watching. Thank you for that. 2 of you watching on Walter's channel. So again, the other 16 of you guys that are watching and lurking, if you have not subscribed to Rage of Wrestling, go do it now. Help get him up to 200. Make sure you guys tune in for the benefit tomorrow. And until next week's episode, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, for the He-Man James Hebert, for Big Baller G, for Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, and the Simple Man Noah Foster, and the rest of the team. I hope you guys out there have a good night.
Goodbye, everybody.